Good evening, guys. Welcome to the APAT show. It's Monday night as we face into, Leigh, the final events, final two, of the Online World Championship of Amateur Poker. So what have we got tonight, Leigh?
It is the final countdown. Yeah, it is the last one. Nothing to start or nothing for anyone to jump into and play, unless you want to play the daily comps that are running every night. You can do that if you want to. But yeah, it's the final day of the last two events. We're going to focus first of all on event number 12, which is the PLO knockout, because they played down. They're already down to a final table. They're down to 5 at the moment. We've got a couple of names that we recognise on that, so we're going to get that table up fairly quick. We're also keeping an eye on the online championship, which is down to 13 runners as well. And when we're there, we'll get to that to a final table, and we'll go through who's there. Jamie Burland is still going strong there, and Ken Midgley from the UK is third in chips as that one as well. But yeah, first port of call is going to be this final table of event number 12, the PLO knockout, and we're going to be joined by Dan Owston and Paul Haycock to talk us through some of the action here. Evening, chaps.
How we doing?
Evening, guys.
Evening.
Just to manage your expectations, I'm tethered on my phone because 1 minute before I was due to come on, my Wi-Fi fell over and I've no idea why. So if I disappear, that'll be why.
That's no problem at all. That is not an issue. But we're down to 5 in this PLO. Couple of names you're going to recognise, because Chris Webber is there, bottom of your screen with 30 bigs, and the best player in Ilfracombe, Yanni, to your top left with 61 bigs. 3 other players in there. We've got Roman Mroziuk from Ukraine. We've got Igor Antipchenko from the UK, and Andreas, and I can't see his Nielsen. Nielsen from Denmark, who is the chip leader at the moment. Chris has hardly picked up any bounties in this comp so far, but he's managed to work his way right up to 5th place minimum cash, which is $258. Top 2 are going to share about $780 each. So nice money up top, and obviously chunky bounties. Chris can still pick up a lot of bounties, though, if you can find a way of actually getting from these 30 bigs and start knocking a few out on this final table, guys. Yeah.
Well, that's because he doesn't rely on running good at Showdown. Of course, that just shows what a good player he is. Yeah, he'll pick some up. I mean, they're so deep. I mean, minimum stack here, 500 is 30 bigs, so plenty of time.
Yeah, and what you got to look at with Chris's stack, he doubles up. He's the chip leader.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty shallow, isn't it? Really? Yeah.
So yeah, there is plenty of play left in this tournament, and yeah, he doesn't want to get down to sort of the 15 bit, for 10 to 15 big marks. But at the moment, he's relatively comfortable. If he manages to win this pot, there's they're all relatively even stack wise. So there's plenty of play left, hopefully, in this PLO final.
Yeah, I would have thought so. And don't forget, obviously, it's APAT medals for the top 3 in this one. And in the online championship, which is now down to 12 players, not only is it APAT medals, but we're going to be dishing out the first WCOAP bracelet of the year. Is going to go to the online champion winner, and also slightly over $12,000 top prize in that. We ended up with 791 runners last night. Got through the guarantee. I don't even know what I was worried about, Des, to be honest. It was it was never in doubt.
Nice.
Was it? Eh? Yeah, very nice.
I'm sure it was in doubt. I'm still not entirely sure it's in the bank, but there it is. Happy days. So some players are going to be very happy this evening.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I do actually know the numbers of the re-entries in that last time, because obviously there was a little bit of discussion around when Party Poker added re-entry to that during the week. So come on, the two of you, 791 runners. What's your guess at how many re-entries were there?
109.
And Paul?
68.
Yeah,
129 there were in the end. So very good guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. Well, listen, on that bombshell, let's go to the chat box, Leigh. A bunch of the guys in there already. It's Final Monday, right? We did this last year. It was a very successful Final Monday. Mr. Lawler is in there, first of all, with an evening. Good evening to you, sir. Greg Mawson is there as well. Big evening to you. Tony Ross, the same. Simon says, oi, oi, Dan Owston. Just Dan, no welcome for Leigh or Paul or me.
I'd be saying the same if I wasn't on, don't worry.
It's like the YouTube kids are hanging together. Joe's with us, Joe Chillmate. Evening, chaps. Evening to you,
Hey,
Joe. And Simon goes on to say, good luck, Chris Webber. So he's very focused in his support this evening, both on the pundit side and on the players' side. He's got a very clear idea of who he wants to support.
His favouritism game is strong. That's good.
I'm a little disappointed that 2 years running I've not been introduced as Vince Ely.
To be honest, Dan, I felt you took enough stick from Stu last night on the show. To be honest, yeah, we've got to be nothing other than completely nice to you.
Well, it makes a change because the finals day last year, I think I ended up getting stick from you, Leigh.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I can't remember what you introduced me as.
Yeah, I've probably been working on it for days.
I think there was a Thomas the Tank Engine reference.
Oh, no.
Was there really? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, crikey. Wow.
No.
I can't believe that.
For you, to be honest.
That's pretty brutal. Yeah.
Elephants have got long memories.
Had I upset you or something? And I really why that was blimey.
Maybe it was me who started it. I'm used to upsetting people, so I'm sure I deserve a little bit back.
Have you lodged your complaint yet, Dan, that we're showing these in big blinds?
I don't even know what's going on anymore. It has literally like ruined me because I'm like, well, how many of them? I give in.
Oh dear. Listen, Yanni's getting a little bit of love in the chat box. Come on, Yanni, bring it home for Coombe. That is Andrew Watts. Danny Strange is there as well. Evening all. Looking forward to meeting up later this week. Come on, England.
Good lad. Thank you, Danny.
Nice. The guy we call Danny Cam. Do you remember Danny Cam?
Yeah, it is Danny Cam. But we are literally 48 hours away from the team championship starting. Danny Cam at Aspers.
It's quite amazing because obviously there's a lot of come on England, and obviously they're going to have the majority of the love in the chat box. But for a team with such a wealth of great players and such a player pool to choose from, they don't really have a great record, do they?
That all changes.
I know
changes in the next 3 days.
Far smaller nations that have done far better.
Anyone in particular, Dan? I mean, who would you name?
You're right, Dan. The Netherlands have done very well.
I was thinking Andorra and Gibraltar off the top.
Yeah.
That all changes in the next few days.
But you do have a chance this year, Paul, because I haven't been selected for the World.
You're not playing, yeah. I was ready to come on this show, feeling all smug, having got through the online day one of the main event last night. And
did you get through? Did you? Congratulations.
You put me on with the chip leader.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Congratulations. I watched most of your play yesterday, and you did very well. Apart from you did the same thing as me and pretty much chipped up through one person who just wanted to give his chips away.
That was honestly, you shouldn't criticize, but I don't know how much experience some of those players have got of bubble play, especially. But there were some weird things going on last night, weren't there?
We watched it last night, and one player in particular had a huge. I think at one point had 200 bigs, and then transpired to just double up players, and
didn't make the final 11.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, and in a way, it's sad to see because they've obviously built up the stack in the first place, and then it's just kind of either it's just unravelled. But it felt when we were watching it that it got to the point the player was trying to chase the stack back, and that's never a good way of doing it.
And so much ISO over the short stacks that it was like borderline collusion. I'm not accusing anyone of collusion, but like just. Come on, let's just get through, shall we? But no,
I'll tell you, Leigh, we haven't even arrived at Nottingham yet, and the team bias is beginning to kick off.
Come on.
Danny, we had Danny. Danny says, sorry, and good luck to Wales. I thought it was Vince Ely on comms tonight. It's not Vince Ely. Joe Chilmate's there with a Scottish flag. Joe also says, bring back Danny Cam. Definitely, we hope to be doing a bit of Danny Cam, maybe with Danny, maybe with somebody else, but we'll be doing a bit of Danny Cam later in the week from Nottingham, I hope. And finally, Simon asks, how many big blinds has Dan got in the live main event?
Well, so Dan ended up with nearly 1.4 million in chips last night, and it depends on where we start the level. So they finished kind of partway through level 16 last night, which is roughly where we think we're likely to be, or it could be that let's assume that we start at level 17, not too far off that. So Dan would come back with 70 bigs into day two.
I'm
Well,
guessing
we-
I'm guessing we're not going to skip levels. Like we're going to go at least back to where the earliest finish is.
Yeah. That's what's written.
Because I'm thinking there were some people who finished that with like 10 bigs in the online, and if we skip a level or two, they're going to have like 4 bigs.
No, they'll have 8.
Okay. I said a level or 2.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't be a level or 2. All it might be is you guys had so many minutes left of level 16, but obviously you play a shorter levels than live will. So it might well be that the decision is just made. Well, actually, we'll start at 17. There, so
because I'd be expecting larger fields for the live.
Obviously, they'll. I would imagine both the live day ones will go on past level 16. I'm pretty certain that'll be the case. So I'm feeling 17 is where we'll be with it.
What we do know for sure, of course, is that the average stack will be 666k because you're playing down to 15% in every day one.
Yeah. So give or take the rounding up of a player, it'll be pretty much that. So
yeah, and if there are some big stacks in, it also means there's going to be some short stacks. So
yeah. So basically, from yesterday, let's assume that's the case.
636, isn't it? 636. Okay.
I haven't even worked it out. So
start with 100k, play down to 15%.
So it's got to be 600k. It's got to be. Yeah.
I don't know. The average stack from yesterday was 636.
It was 636 yesterday. Yeah, it was the average stack. Yeah. But bear in mind, you're playing because you had 70 runners last night. You had like half a player. So anyway, if we assume it's level 17, just as a nice point to pick it in, that means Dan would have 70 bigs. Paul would come in with 48 bigs, and the short stack Mark Gardner would come in with 8 bigs. Okay. So that's all looking pretty good. And actually, average bigs at the end in level 16 last night, you were running at nearly 40 bigs for an average stack. So it flew through a little bit quicker than than it would. Certainly live, that would probably be down nearer the 35 mark, I would imagine.
Danny's popped up in chat. Good evening to you, Danny. More than happy to do Danny Cam again, especially if Gru is on my table. What a guy. Banana. And Joe comes back. He was more like Gru than Gru. Do you remember Gru, Leigh? Do you remember? Let me play you a minute of this guy. He was valued.
The eventual winner from London
goes by the name of Gru. I do believe we get to see him in about 30 seconds in.
Seat open. 1-8.
I got to be honest. The way he stacked his chips is not going to be good for the people out there with OCD.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Don't do drugs, good.
I hate to say it, guys. Well, I don't hate to say it because he was good value. He went on to win the event.
Yeah, he said he would, and he did.
He certainly did.
Argue with it. Yeah. So Chris down to 11 bigs here now, and next lowest stack is 40 bigs, which is Andreas. But again, with PLO guys, there's no panic here, is there? Really?
No, we're anti in this, aren't we? So you don't often get antis in live PLO, but here, so that puts the pressure on a little bit. I did see Chris Ray's fold from Button a little while ago. He's not going to be able to do that anymore, but he knows that. He just needs a decent hand to get it in with, and then start again, spin and win.
And I think what you've got to look at. I mean, I can see he's got 8.7 bigs. I don't know whether that is in old money or how many chips he's actually got, but what you can see in relation,
or indeed why that's relevant.
Well, he's all in, and he's been called by Roman.
Oh no, nice double suited hand. Although his clubs are no good, and there's no clubs anyway.
Oh, 7.
Oh, he's got there with a 7. He's got there with a 7. That's how you do it. So
and again,
and now everything changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely needed to gamble. And actually, if you look at all the other stack sizes, that there was nobody remotely close to him. You know, he's doubled up, and he's still basically, you know, everybody else has almost got double him or more. So
That was a good hand
it
to
was
get in.
definitely the right time to gamble, and paid off.
Yeah. And it was a good hand to get it in with for sure.
Yeah, he was a little bit unlucky that he was sort of dominated with the holding that he had. You know, you want to be up against Ace King King X really there.
There you go. Now he's on a roll, isn't he?
There we are.
Now we're flopping second nut
So
flushes. And all
he's
sorts.
now up to 2.4 million, and for those of you in new money, that is 24 big blinds. So
I like
Hand it to him.
I like this level. I like this level because there's 50 and 100, and I can work it out. Once it goes to 120, you got me.
You don't have to work it out.
I'm not sure why. I don't think I've just never ever used the big blind one, and I don't know.
It takes a little bit of getting used to, but now
maybe I will get. I don't play enough poker to get used to it anymore because I probably play this series and that'll be me done for the year.
Oh. Well, I tell you,
talking about players that have played the series, John Sibley's in the chat says, "Cheers for a cracking online series, guys. I think he's played 10 events and he's cashed in 6 of them, culminating in the final taper bubble in this event we're watching now." Yeah, John finished 8th in that one.
And I've been on his table an awful lot throughout the series, I will say. So he's been great to play with, John has. So. And
he's been in the chat here on the show most nights as well, answering questions, offering advice and commenting. So it's been great for you to be getting involved. John, glad you've enjoyed the week.
Don't think I've met John. I'd look forward to meeting him at the weekend if he's going to be there.
Yeah, he's going to be there Friday night. Paul?
Nice.
I think John's regular at Dusk Till Dawn, isn't he? I think he's.
Maybe it's probably one of those faces that I'll recognise when I see him. I just can't put the name to it. Maybe.
Really sure he plays there reasonably often.
Well, I think it's going to be a great weekend because if everybody who says, "Oh, when I see you there, I'm going to buy you a pint," buys me a pint, it's going to be fantastic.
Wow!
I wouldn't laugh, Leigh. I'm having 3 off you.
Yeah, no.
Well, technically, I'm having 2. Brendan's having 1 because he reminded me.
Well, I've got the money ready for you, Dan. Are you all right going to the bar though? Yeah, is that all right?
Friday.
I've got the money. I've got the money here. That's still good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be all right, won't they? Yeah. So I'll just give you that. You can buy one for whoever else is there as well. Won't be a problem.
Yeah,
I think they do still use them in Wales,
Leigh,
right?
Yeah.
Leigh, do you want to trade?
Oh crikey! Oh wow! Yeah.
Don't make a cash offer like that, Leigh. Here's Dan heading to the bar. You've seen this before. Just can't get there quickly enough.
Excellent.
I know.
Stuff.
Well, long gone are the days when DTG used to stop us ordering drinks.
Yeah, no, that's good. No, it's going to be a cracking weekend. Really. And I think what's great is obviously, I know there's been a slight change on the time. It's something, we used to start things at midday, and it'd be a really. I do think actually maybe the kind of the 3 o'clock in the afternoon starts and sensible time, finishing will actually make for a more enjoyable 5 days as well for everyone that's up there for the duration. And I know some people have got some plans outside of the poker as well. So lots going on. I can confirm that the APAT show versus Team Gotham mini golf Ryder Cup challenge is happening. It's been booked. That's how serious this is. Venue have committed to us descending.
That's already being taken so much more seriously than it should be.
Yeah, it really is. But we're looking forward to it. I can confirm, Paul. You won't know this, Paul, but I can confirm that one Dan Owston is joining the team. Dan used to play off single number. Yeah, pretty much. His handicap was pretty decent. And he's going to bring his own putter. So I mean, this is just a winner.
Are we doing that? Have I got to bring my own putter as well?
No, they do provide equipment.
I know they do provide them. But I prefer my own.
I've seen those courses. Yeah. I wouldn't be bringing a putter. I'd bring a cue.
No, the course I have mentioned it. It is you've got to be okay with dinosaurs because there's quite a few dinosaurs on this course.
I am disappointed at the absence of glory holes though.
Glory holes will have to wait for another day. Yeah, unfortunately.
Story of my life.
Yes, and so we've already established a book on it. Team Gotham are 4 to 6 on. The APAT show 11 to 10.
On what basis?
Yeah. 4 to 6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a heads up match. So that's obviously there's got to be a bit of a bookie's edge. So if you want to PayPal the money across to all bets at www.you'regettingmuggedoff.com. You'll never see that money again, but it will be at the bar on the Friday night.
Yeah. So but the plan is we're playing. I think it's 36 holes in total. Everyone's playing a singles game, and then everyone's going to play one game of doubles or some form of 4 balls or foursomes or whatever we're going to play. And Simon's sorting out all the points and everything. And it should be good fun. So it literally is a course that's 2 minutes away from dusk till dawn. So I say if you're up and about on the Friday morning, I think we're booked from 10 till about midday. Until 1 o'clock, something like that.
Which I did not approve, by the way, because if I'm celebrating an international team victory on Thursday night, you're not going to get me teeing off at 10 a.m.
Dan's planning on winning the high roller on Thursday night, so it could be quite a leggy golf experience.
I'll tell you what, Lee. Listen, Lee, I'm in if I can name the thing. If you've got a free spot, really? I am in if I can name the event.
Well, that seems a fair deal. Yeah.
We're not. It's sounding a bit like the Ryder Cup, so I think you've got to go with the Raptor Cup.
The Raptor Cup. Okay.
The Raptor Cup. Let's do it. I'm in.
Excellent stuff.
I can play dinosaur golf.
We might look to extend the team numbers here because we're going to have people queuing up wanting to get into this. I think
I'm out. I'm out. If there's people queuing up, I'm out.
It's going to end up like the team event. There's going to be like 9 teams, and you're going to have to work out a whole
No.
Surely we're not far off the 10th end of it. Surely we're not far off the 10th anniversary of the APAT football. It's got to come back.
Yes, yeah, that was great fun. thoroughly enjoyed that. Those were the days. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we can have the same teams, but
no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure how we got through it back then. To be honest, Dan, but we managed to do it. They were good times actually. Getting a football tournament organised before the team event. Was it Luton? We did
Newcastle.
One in Newcastle. I think we did play one in Luton as well.
I think we did as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And
I know we've also played. Matt Dale organised table tennis once, didn't he? As well.
Yeah.
I think that was in Luton as well.
I think one we can definitely do and needs doing is maybe a pool championship and APAT
for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we were all pretty competitive.
Do you know? I'm really surprised Dusk Till Dawn never put a couple of pool tables into their bar area and everything. And
they did have a pool comp at the Grand Prix when it was held at Cardiff City.
Yes, because they had one of those when they had the marquees on the side and they had the pool tables in the bigger space.
I'm trying to think. A couple of the Irish lads, pros, were running it.
Okay.
So they would do a speed pool and then they did do it like a knockout comp.
Yeah. No, you are right.
I think that's something that definitely needs to be in a future APAT weekend. Is a pool comp.
Oh, I'd love to do a pool comp. That'd be a laugh. Listen, Danny's asked a couple of questions here. One, he's begging. Can he be in? He wants to be in too. Danny wants in.
He's in for the table. He's in for the table tennis. I think.
Oh, the table tennis. Okay, table tennis.
Either that or he's in for Tony Trippier.
It could be that.
It's either table tennis or Tony Trippier.
Tony. So if you've reserved a seat, Lee, in an event and still playing in another, only really applies for me on the Sunday. What's the deal with unregistering?
Sorry,
every night.
Danny's asking this. Danny is asking if he's still in one comp and another one starts. This is Danny.
It's very unlikely.
You're
okay, Danny. You're not going to have a problem.
Oh, listen, Glenn Townsend is there, and he's only still trying to persuade Rob to get a shuffleboard in. Oh, fantastic! Let's get it done. Let's get it done.
So, in answer, Danny, to your question, obviously, genuinely, it's a serious question because you can multi-table if you choose to. If you read the all the info at apat.com/WCOAP, you'll see the details about what you can and can't do if you need to multi-table. If you do want to unregister, depends how you bought in. So, if you bought in at Dusk Till Dawn or you bought in with Lux on Pay, just go to the cash desk and basically they'll sort it out for you. If it's with Party Poker, I think you need to go via Tom just to confirm that's what you want to do, and he will make sure to get you removed and your funds will then be returned to you at some point down the road, because it's a little bit more of a turnaround with that depending on who Party Poker have got in the venue as to could deal with it. But but basically, you can choose to do that if you want to, but you do have the option of also letting them both play if you want to as well. That is an alternative that you might choose.
Follow-up practical question then that you've almost certainly answered already, but I'll ask again. Chips in play from the start or not?
No, chips aren't in play for the start. You've got you get a little bit of a breather. So if there's a late reg period, you get a little bit of a breather, and I think it's an hour, and then your chips will go in. Or I think in the main event that's up to the first break.
Is that true in the shootout as well? Because the shootout's the one that clashes. It starts literally the same time as day 2 of the main, doesn't it? I think.
Yes, it does. So the shootout, I don't think you can. I think chips are in play for the shootout because obviously it's. It is. You don't really have the late reg option in it as much. But it depends on where we are with the tables on it, because there is a slight with the numbers as to how they're going to work it. So it's going to be worth just double checking on the day once Tom's sees where we are numbers wise to know what this best situation is for that.
So should I have unregged the shootout or not, given that I got through to day 2 of the main?
I'd stick in with it for the time being, because you can unreg it on the day if you need to. Yeah. So I'd hang fire for the time being.
Wafer thin.
Yeah, hang fire for the time being.
Because even I can't get rid of 50 bigs in the first sort of 10 or 15 minutes and then go across and play the shootout. Surely.
You could do sort of WSOP style. Was it Sean Deeb who was literally running up and down the hallways trying to get
Sean Deeb running? Really?
You never know, Paul. There might be somebody out there on the table who can take all your chips in one fell swoop and is happy.
I can't think of anyone that might be able to do that. Don't put me on his table, for God's sake. I had to spend 90% of that tournament last night with Dave Howard at me +1. That wasn't great fun.
No.
And then I end up with. Did you see that? Well, obviously you saw the table. You were commentating on it. That table last night. Wigglesworth,
it was insane.
Owston, Howard, Brooke, Stacey. It was like. It's just not
absolute who's who.
I wish it would have been in the live event.
So Glenn's in the chat just saying we're looking at potentially allowing shootout late reg because clocks can now run on table iPads, so not all tables necessarily need to start at the same time. So not 100% confirmed yet, but we're going to try and see, because that's what they want to do. They want to ideally fill the shootout tables so that they're max capacity. Rather than have a bunch of them open with sort of 5 runners or something like that, because that's when it's a problem. You want to be sat down going, right, these are the players I've got to beat in front of me from the off. So if there's a way they can stagger some of those tables, that gives you a bit more flexibility on being able to then late reg. But they say these are a couple of the little things that they're doing, because they don't normally do a shootout comp. So there's these few little things that they're just having to just iron out this week to make sure it'll run as smooth as possible. What I can say is Glenn and Tom at Dust Till Dawn and Tom from APAT been planning this for weeks, if not months, and even now are still looking to find where can we do something which can make it even better for the players. What can we do to improve to try and maximize the enjoyment and experience for all the players. So
Leigh,
carry on doing that.
Leigh, I've got a question on the shootout. Let's say
is this going to be serious, or
I'm always serious, Leigh. I'm always serious.
Yeah,
I am always serious, in fairness. So let's say we fall a little short of the 50k guarantee.
The shootout guarantee.
Yeah, is there any danger that it can be dropped?
I meant the shootout if there's a 50k guarantee.
Shall I just stop talking, Leigh? I'll be back here.
Well, I don't think we've got the money for that, Des, but I could reduce one of the ones. What have we got? There's 75 in this one that's still running here now. What if I take some out of that?
I like that.
And I'll move it
35
across.
out. We'll move that across to the live series.
There's only 9 of them left. They won't even be bothered about it.
You just change the shootout to a 5k buy-in. That's all you have to do.
It won't be a problem at all.
It's one of them things where obviously having played APAT from the start, you've never really advertised guarantees.
Oh, no, that's not our thing.
And it isn't your thing.
Probably won't again.
And it's never been an issue. Nobody's ever said, well, I'm tuning up to this, comp because there's X amount guaranteed. And I think the only reason it's been raised this time is because it's been offered and taken away. If they weren't there from the start, it would never have been anything that anybody would have
and as we said the other night on the show, and just to be completely clear, we don't we we never have done. The only time we ever do is if a provider or a venue wants to do that and wants to do it, which is that's fair enough, and and it's great that they do. I mean, let's not forget and it was only a little hiccup this week. Let's be serious about that. It was 3 comps where we slightly reduced the guarantees based on the numbers
out of 295, right?
Yeah. 25k out of 295, yeah. So
and to be honest, if you change the guarantees and not announce that you changed the guarantees, like 90% of people wouldn't have even known.
Yeah, but we don't like to do that. We'd rather. But let's remember that last year we guaranteed $750,000 across the World Championship of Amateur Poker online with Party Poker. I mean, they've been pretty damn good to us from a guarantee point of view. And you mustn't also forget is we have a guarantee on each of our comps every night of the week. We guarantee for the summer months, it's about $7,500 a week across our $5 and $11 comps as well. They're all guaranteed. And Party, do that. They just do that for us. And it's players do quite well.
Also guaranteed fun, which is what APAT's all about.
Exactly. So Chris has steadied the ship a little bit now, and has got similar stuff.
He doubled up just before the break. He jammed a wrap and got there on the river against Aces.
And he's kind of now sort of levelish sort of stack with the likes of Igor and Andreas. So whereas there was players up there with sort of 60 bigs, they've all kind of come into a more level situation now. And it's a case that actually, if Chris could find a double up here, he would go chip leader. So
well, this might be the hand.
Well, he's playing it back at Roman.
No, but it's I mean, he's still taking a nice pot down, and he's up to 3.8. So like the stacks are all very even now.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect for aggressive play now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't again here, to be honest. He's got
20
it's a great 3-bet pot stack.
And you've got to be really careful if you're going to be calling 3 bets here, because if you're not prepared to be committed, you've got to remember that. Oh, saying that,
I was just about to say it's an action.
There you go,
it's commitment.
Oh, there
you go.
Just keeps getting better for Yanni there.
Yanni,
wow,
what a pot.
Yanni flying through. That was just a very quick, brief glimpse at the final table. Final table of the main event, because we've just hit that as well. So I'm just bringing that up so I can keep an eye on that one as well. But we're down to 4 here, of course, because we've got Yanni and Chris on this in the final 4. We're going to watch this first, and then we will flip over to the final table of the main. But let me just give you a quick shout out. Roberto Machetti from Argentina is chip leader. He's got twice the chips of anybody else on the table, on that final table in the online championship.
Machete slicing through the field,
very good. He's got 97 bigs, so we're sitting in a very nice position. Jamie Burland is still there from the UK, so is Ken Midgley, and then we've got a couple of players from Belgium, one from Sweden, one from Brazil, and then Manuel Montoya from Peru, I think. Yeah, Peru.
Where did your friend and mine, Mr. Phil Coles, finish in that? I saw that he was...
Phil finished 29th in the end. 26th, sorry, in the end. Managed to ladder up one place, one lot. Messaged me when he burst. He said it was just one of those things. He was card dead for about half an hour. I think he had Queen 10 in the end, got it in up against Raggy Ace, and that was that. But he managed to get, jump up another pay jump as well. So I picked up another $85 worth towards it, so finished up cashing for $435.
Nice.
So very well done to Phil.
Well done, Phil, isn't it?
So Chris Webber's in the chat says this is such a grind, but it's a grind that's going well for Chris because it's laddering up quite nicely. They're down to 4 players now, so they're all guaranteed $356 plus their bounties. Chris is still on he's won $25 with the bounties so far. To put that in context, at this final table, Eagles won $137 with the bounties. Yanni's picked up $277 with the bounties, and Andres has picked up $395 with the bounties. So, but what that does mean from Chris's point of view is, if he can get ahead of these guys and start knocking them out, there's some big bounties on their heads that he's going to snap up very, very quickly in this final 4 now, if we can get momentum in his way. So.
Well, as I said, we were in the middle of talking about how the dynamic was going to be. A lot of play really good. They're all very even stacks. Now, obviously, with the two big stacks merging and Yanni taking that pot, he's got 50% of chips in play, and the other three have got 50% between them. And I'd love to see some really aggressive play from.
Yeah. Yanni can take control.
ICM wise here now, he should be able to really put a lot of pressure on these guys.
Yeah. And he is, judging by this sample of one hand.
Yeah, but it's, as I said, a 3-bet here is going to put any of them 3 million stacks to the test. So if they open and like this, a 3-bet now is what 1.1 is pretty much saying, do you want to play for it all on this hand? And
I was also going to say it's also going to narrow everyone's opening range when Yanni's in the big blind, but Chris is undeterred.
You'd like to think it would, wouldn't you? But and that's only going to work if Yanni actually does start playing back at them and play more aggressively.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him fold a couple of times, blind on blind.
Playing out of 80 bigs four-handed and folding to 2.5x on the button. I think my holding's got to be pretty weak to do that, but maybe it was. Maybe he's sitting there with like 6-6-6.
Quad eights.
Exactly.
But you'll be surprised. It won't take long for this to really develop, and in the next couple of hands, and you're only got about 8-9 hands, and they'll be either pushing to double up or they have doubled up or they're out.
Chip leader on the online championship is going rather well. It's just bust Andre Oliveira. He had ace queen and Herberto had queen 5. And hit his 5 and 4 to the flush as well, just to add insult to injury. So adds to his stack, and is absolutely dominating that final table.
Machete putting them to the sword. I feel like I've been writing these down for like 7 or 8.
You keep going. It's worked for me for a long time, Paul. Just keep cracking that one out.
I'm just trying to say if I'm pronouncing Marchetti. I mean, I'm just trying to see if I can pronounce it so it doesn't sound like a
Marcator or something.
Doing this,
So we're going to the market next week, are we? Well, to be honest, the way it's panning out and the way it's going along, we might see the heads up in the 8 max before we see it in the PLO.
Yeah, we might well.
We might see the morning before we see the heads up here.
So
I'll have to give my apologies in advance. I can't have 2 later on. I've been working on the boring subject, but I've been working on the same project for 2 years. It's my last day on it tomorrow, so I've got a million things to finish off.
It's exciting, Paul.
And the reason finishing on a Tuesday is because of the team event starting on the Wednesday. So,
but surely tomorrow you're all taking board games in and just playing board games, aren't you? That's what you do on your last day. That's how it works.
Crossbow and catapults I'm taking in.
Yeah. That's what you do, isn't it? Surely.
With the little discs. God, I love that.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Tethering through my phone has been working really well up until now, and now I can't see any of the hands at all. So I might have to. You're sounding fine, and I think the video looks okay
good.
as well.
Looks good. Yeah.
It's been fine up until the last few seconds, and now everything's very fuzzy. I can't see.
But it's sometimes it's actually just the feed coming back down from the Switch Studio. Sometimes it's just that, so it's not always.
We can hear you fine,
user. Yeah. So
unlucky.
Yeah. So yeah, they're down to 7 in the online championship, which means they're guaranteed min cash of $1,600. But it's that 12 grand up top that is going to be very, very interesting for all those players on that final table. And there's some huge pay jumps in there as well. I mean, it's $5,700 for third, just over 8,000 for second. So the difference between where they are now at 1,600 is huge if you can get a couple more ladders in there.
Ibito sat there with well over 100 bigs as well, which must be a lovely position to be in, in a 700 final. And I guess in the average, there's plenty of play. I guess in the average, and it's probably still about 30 bigs.
It's a bit more than that actually, Dan. Yeah. It's averages is 11.3 million, and they're playing level blinds of 140, 280. So yeah, so it's actually even deeper than that.
Yeah, so nearly 40 bigs then.
It's nearly 40 bigs. Yeah.
Guys, that suave, sophisticated mariner, Matt Dale, is in the chat box. Good evening, Matt. APATer extraordinaire, I would say, and owner of a new boat. Looks pretty cool. Have you seen Matt doing his wake boarding on this new boat?
I haven't seen the new boat yet.
It looks pretty fast. And
Des, this is where you bring in "I'm on a boat" and you play the "I'm on a boat" clip.
I don't have that one. Oh no.
Oh, I think we need that for the next Matt Dale appearance.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we balked Matt out of the NHS tournament, Leigh? All of those months and months and months ago.
Well, we sort of talked him into it, didn't we? Really,
fantastic.
Let's be honest.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And he was a top sport. I think he was several buy-ins deep at that point. I think he'd sort of partially given up on the whole thing.
Yeah, it's taken him this long to recover so he can buy the boat. From his bankroll. So yeah.
To hell with that. It's taken him this long to recover to be able to come back into our chat box.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Anyway, hope you're well, Matt, and everything's going well with you for the summer season.
Yeah.
And we might be right because we're now down to 6 in the main. Herberto's knocked another one out, and significant chunks to his stack, and he's now sat on about 160 bigs.
Is that Machete again?
Yeah.
Machete's been wielding the weapon.
Nice one. He's getting through the field like a knife through butter.
So he's now sat on 43 million chips. The other 5 added together have got about 36.
Shit.
So it's absolute monster. The way it's looking, we are going to be sending a gold medal and a WCOAP bracelet to Argentina, Des.
I like it. Don't cry for me, rest of the table.
It's a bit of a massacre, I'm afraid.
It's not over yet, though.
Andres against Igor.
I mean, you never
flop better, Igor. I mean, it's a nice run out for Andre. But
there you go.
Those hearts were looking good for a moment there.
That's a safer turn and river than we were expecting, isn't
it? Yeah, nice. Plenty of draws he picked up there, but wasn't to be.
So the rest on the table are laddering quite nicely. Jamie Berlin's the short stack, and he's got 17 bigs. So again, he's not in huge amount of spot because there's Ken Midgley's got 20 bigs there. Manuel Montoya's got 22 bigs. David Optabeek has got 24 bigs. So Jamie's not in any bother here because there's lots of players around him on the other final table that have got stacks as low as his as well. And of course, you're just laddering up each time. So they're now guaranteed $2,000. Next pay jump is another $600, and then it's another $1,100 on top again. I mean, yeah, the ICM is with such a massive chip leader on that table is it's just crushing all of the other players.
I can't believe Machete's just folded the button.
I was literally going to say I hope he's opening like 100% of his range. Apparently not, because he's folding button unopened. Right.
I think. Would you be opening there, Paul?
maybe that was the exception rather than the rule.
I know. Apparently, I did get a comment yesterday that when we were on the sort of bubble for the main, apparently I opened a few hands. It was weird because there was such a different dynamic between the two tables as well.
Should we switch to this online championship final table, Dan? Because it is pretty interesting the way it's playing out here with this chip lead.
And Miss Chris Webber bubbling for a medal. No.
Well, I'll keep an eye on it. Let me just bear me one dip very quickly, and I will.
I think the dynamic's really interesting now in the. I mean, it's weird because we were sort of 5-handed in the PLO and 13-handed in the main, and all of a sudden now we're 4-handed and 6-handed.
There we go. So this is the online championship final table.
Imagine having 163 bigs on a final table. Like,
And just to be clear now, there's 6-handed. So the prizes go $2,025, $2,600, $3,765, $5,700, $8,300, and $12,000 off up
Bloody
top.
hell.
Yeah.
That's
This-
insane.
This is that kind of position where you're like, do you want to discuss a deal? This, yeah, I'll take first, and you can discuss the rest between you.
Yeah.
So Chris Webber's in the chat, obviously on that PLO final table, says, yeah, you should definitely switch to the No Limit Hold'em table. So so there we go. So we'll watch this for a bit, but we'll keep an eye on the PLO and let you know what happens in that. But this dynamic is just crazy, guys. Yeah.
I mean, he's got such a dominant stack. I don't think of almost ever folding anything. Depending on if the others don't care about ICM and they're playing back frequently, then obviously would slow him down. But
and I think the blinds have just
given the
gone up.
jumps.
The blinds have just gone up, so obviously he's gone down to a measly 140 bigs. But if you look at the rest of the stacks now they're getting into the 15-20 big black range, big blind range. So
Juiciest squeeze spot ever. Okay, we're just flatting it.
Wouldn't be surprised if he sat there with the 6-3, mind you.
Speaking of someone who positive tilted myself out of this tournament, like this time last night, by the way, because I was short for like 90% of it, and I got a couple of doubles. Thought right back in it now, average stack, take it on from here, and I was gone in 2 hands. So don't take any advice from me.
Yeah, I was just short of the money where I mustered in it as well, and I did a bit of yo-yoing in this tournament. At one point, I thought this is easy. I've got $500,000, and all of a sudden I'm out.
That sounds familiar. Jamie Berlin, he was Jamie was well into black belt poker, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Nice guy. I think I've spoken to him a couple of times around that time. I mean, we're talking 10 years ago now. Right?
Would you come across Jamie, Dan? Must have played against him a bit.
Jamie Berland?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really solid. I'm just trying to think. I think he was involved in a few staking teams, probably 8 to 10 years ago. But relatively, I class him as a relatively solid and consistent player. Doesn't really do an awful lot wrong, and can mix it up with the best of them. And
Herberto is using stack again. Raised from Victor, and Herberto says, "All right, well, let's play for stacks." It's run into aces.
Ooh.
And we're gonna that starts making it a bit interesting now, because he's doubled up who was, I think, pretty much the second in chips.
Yeah, and obviously, look, that's a great ICM shove there, as if to say, well, everybody's short. Do you want to finish 6 when you're second in chips? And he's just unlucky. He's run into the monster there.
The only thing that made that a slightly weird spot is that he had a guy with 13 bigs to his left. So if anyone is looking to double and isn't quite so worried about the ICM implications, it's
the short stack. Yeah, it is.
I mean, as played, he ran his races, so what can you do? But
yeah, but in that position, 95% of the time you're getting a fold from Victor. So it's never going to be a bad play. And
yeah. No, that's okay.
So just looking, guys, at Jamie's Hendon Mob record, and I think he's cashed in a £120 event in 2019, but outside of that, it was 2016. Since his last cash on the Hendon Mob. But if we sort by prize, his biggest result was a 65k win when he won the UKIPT event in Brighton back in 2010. Really going back in the day. He also had a second at the DTD 500 deep stack. You're looking at 2012 there for 27k. And the EPT London in 2010, he had a 24th for 21k. So obviously a very, very accomplished player, quite probably a pro back in the day, maybe not so much today, possibly online, but certainly the results don't seem to be there live.
And black belt ended a little bit weirdly, didn't it? So I don't know if his volume was reduced around that time.
And I'm pretty sure the UKIPT one in Brighton in 2010, Young Rudders was David Rudley Smith was on that final table.
Really? That's cool. Well, let's have a look. Prove
me wrong. Would have
I
finished
tell you
fifth or
what,
sixth.
in fifth place was John Spinks, another APATer.
Yeah.
John was ex Eat My Stack. Do I see Young Rudders? I see Ben Martin there.
I might be a year out. It might be 2011.
Yeah,
Unless we're right at the top of our range, I'm never not setting anything when I've got 10 times his stack.
George
So-
Betty was 18th in that event. So no, I don't see Young Rudders.
I'll have to have a look at Hendon, Robert. I might be a year out.
Yeah.
It might be 2011.
Well, that was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Am I going to say 2016? Let's have a look. Sorry.
No, it can't have
you're
been
right.
2016.
2010.
Yeah, it can't have been 2016. That's way too late for them.
Yeah, 2010.
It was the other lad he was big mate with, Kevin Williams, wasn't it? I think him and
And of course, on the UKIPs coming back after having a little bit of break. So great to see them back as part of the live events in the UK.
There's one at dusk soon, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
Because there isn't enough poker coming up soon.
Yeah, end of July, I think it is.
Yeah, incredibly thin, Bragg. I think I finaled the first ever UK APT.
Did you? Wow, nice.
In
Where was that, Dan?
Manchester. In Manchester. And it was won by Yuri Zandvliet, a Dutch guy. But there was a table of absolute heroes. Chris Brammer was on that final. Mike Hill, the bookie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jack Elwood.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And a few others. It was an absolute monster final table.
Wow, nice.
Oh, Mike Hill, the bookie. Sorry, I thought you meant he was like a Dutch guy called Mike Hill, the bookie. No,
No, but it was won by a Dutch guy who basically said, "I'm just doing this for fun and to win some money, and I have no love for poker or whatever. I want to get out as soon as possible. I want to make loads of money quick and get out," and he did.
Fair play.
Chris Webber is all in on the PLO. Just quickly bring the table up.
Good luck, Chris.
He's got a caller. Decision on Igor at the top of the screen. And he's called as well. So all Chris can do is wait and watch.
You'd like to be sat there with a deuce and a king. Spades.
A couple of deuces would be nicer. Yeah.
That's a good point. Well made.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's leading with that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, jamming his last six bigs in. And
just in case.
I think there may have been a bit more checkage.
It's not frozen generally. Andrews is making a decision and shoves as well. And
yeah,
it's going to be Chris departing in third place. In fourth place, picking up $356 plus his bounty of 25 as well. So that's not bad.
Chris, good result.
So many spades already out for that river to hit.
$380 there. So they're now into the medals there. Andres is now chip leader, Yanni in second, and Igor in third. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let you know if anything happens with Yanni in particular.
they're all in as well. So it's Igor needs a king really.
Yeah, it's quickly jump back.
Spades. The spades again, Mike. And that's it. We're heads up.
And we're heads up. So Yanni is playing Andreas heads up for the win, and they'll be playing for about. Let's have a look. It's going to be about $800 is going to be the final bounty there between the two of them.
I think you're going to say that they're going to be playing for about 3 hours because
it could be about 3 hours because Yanni's got 80 bigs and Andres has got 70, so it could be around that sort of time. We'll head back to the to this online championship final table, but we'll keep an eye on the situation with Yanni and let you know. So they're both going to pocket $770 odd for first and second. They've got similar-ish kind of bounties already pocketed, 360 for Yanni, and Andres has got 420, but now they're playing for about $800 for whoever knocks the other one out at the end. Yeah.
Feeling slightly bad about my Weather medal bubbles comment.
Yeah.
Mini golf.
I'll be honest. Of all the people I know in APAT that probably isn't that bothered about medals, Chris is probably the one, certainly the one who's won the most. That is kind of like, you say he's all about wanting to win the comp and the cash. And
he's got an APAT medals room, I know.
Yeah. So, but a cracking run considering that 219 runners in that. So to finish fourth in that is a pretty decent run.
And I was part of a conversation not too long ago where we were actually trying to work out who has the most APAT medals.
Oh, and Ken's going to get a double up through Herberto.
He is, yeah. He's
queen, ace queen versus ace nine, and managed to then dodge the flush. So
yeah, much needed double up for Ken there, albeit slightly fortuitous.
Yeah, but you've still got a situation here where Sir Manuel's on 13 bigs, Jamie's got 17, David's 26. Even the double up for Ken now puts him only on 22 bigs. It feels like they're all kind of just there, waiting and hoping that a few other players are going to bust. Because if a couple of the others can bust, they'll jump from 6th to 4th, which is worth $1,700. That pay jump for a couple of spots.
Yeah, and whereas they really do need to double, actually they need to. They need to, obviously to double, they're going to need a call, so they need a hand that they're going to be able to go to war with. And the fact that there's so many of them with similar stack sizes makes that quite difficult for some of them.
Yeah. So Chris Webb's in the chat just saying that was a grim day 2. So I'm assuming completely sort of lack of cards and lack of opportunity, and it's nothing you can do when that happens.
Well,
I'm going to try and get Chris on the show at some point,
nice.
Des, because I have mentioned it once or twice because he's so knowledgeable about the game and really good. And he's done some amazing comms for us in the past. It'd be really good to get him on and have a chat about poker one Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to do some stuff with us later in the week, that could be an opportunity too. Maybe call some hands, but it would be great to get Chris on. We look forward to seeing you towards the weekend, Chris, and the posse.
Yeah, thinks a lot about his poker, Chris does, and as I said, I'm sure when he looks back at this, if he's been that card dead, he'll be pleased with this performance.
This might just me. I only ever come across Chris at APAT events. Does Chris play a lot of poker outside of APAT? Does he play online a lot? Am I just
not really? No, not that I'm aware of. Well, not that I'm aware of. I don't believe he does. I mean, he's in the chat, so he might say different, but I don't think he does. I know he plays a little bit, kind of local. He used to play a bit in Southampton and stuff, but I don't.
No, I think it's mainly recreational and. High-end recreational, we'll call this, because you mainly see him in sort of the championship events and the championship series. Is the APAT run.
Yeah, and his and Dave Howard's comms on the main event in Vienna when Rewert Flirt won that was superb. Literally just gave them a mic each and let them get on with it, and they are superb at that. And I mentioned it earlier on the week. I will say it again, is go and check out Ian Witt's commentary on the Open Face Chinese in Manchester from a few years back.
Superb.
Again, absolutely superb knowledge of the game.
Nice.
Yeah, so Chris says, nope, only APAT nowadays. Looking forward to seeing all the Team Gotham guys this weekend.
Simon is asking, are you planning any streaming at WCOAP, Leigh?
Are you?
Oh, you're asking me back? Rhetorical, that one. Well, we're going to do, we'd definitely like to do some stuff, Simon. So yes, would be the answer. I think we just need to figure out exactly what it is we're going to do. But for sure, I think having successfully managed to maintain bandwidth and stuff like that when we were up there in February, I think the capabilities there to do some stuff. So we'll be
I think we will do. We're not going to do like a full feature table or anything like that because we're not set up to do that anyway as well as anybody else does. But I think what we can do is quite interesting. We do a lot more of the kind of handheld stuff around the card room. We can pretty much kind of do an APAT show from dusk till dawn, effectively. So we can do that and wander around the card room, talk to some players. We did quite a few bits at London. We managed to get a lot of the final table, and certainly when we were down to the heads up, we got onto the table and were able to watch the players close up as that happens. That was quite good. So we'll look to do some of that, I think, around the final table on Sunday.
I think something that might be really interesting if you're going to do something like an APAT show in Dusk Till Dawn would maybe do like a nominate a guest thing. So whoever gets the most votes in the chat box, you go off and find them, and they have their 5-minute slot, and then I think that would probably make for really.
Well, we can do so. Similarly to what for anyone who watched the show last night and saw Natalie, dial into the show from Vegas. I mean, that's effectively the setup that we've got that we can do in Nottingham. So I can just go off around the room and be chatting to Des and whoever we've got in the room and talk to them. So yeah, definitely we can do so.
Was I the only one who was really disappointed that she didn't manage to find Shug?
Yeah, I was gutted. I mean, we gave her an hour. I mean, what more? Honestly, what more could she do? Maybe she needed a jumpsuit and a helicopter, and she'd have found him.
Yeah,
maybe that was what was required.
I think Shug went to Gordon Ramsay's for a steak or something. He was pretty disappointed with that, but it seems like he won $1,300 in another tournament, sort of pretty much straight afterwards. So he's having a whale of a time over there.
Well, there's lots of success. Stu Oliver spun up his very short stack in the Colossus and ended up with a cash in that. I've just got a message a little while ago that the Bromleys are out of the tag team. They got through to the day 2, but doubled up early on, and then unfortunately have bust that now. So but they'll move on to the next one. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's the Vegas life. As I was talking to Stuart last night about his cash in Colossus, he said, "I'm off to play a deep stack 600 now." It's you finish one comp and you just go and jump into the next.
And Natalie said before they went out that she was going to win the ladies tournament. Yes, that's the target tournament, and how amazing would that be?
I think there's an area women's tournament tonight that I think she said she might play, and obviously there's the ladies World Series of Poker bracelet event that I think she wants to play. So I mean, Natalie's certainly capable of a deep run in one or more of these tourneys upcoming.
And Chris Webber just in the chat says, love to do some comms in knots. So definitely we will get say it's always nice if we can get players involved in what's going on and share some of their knowledge and experience. So.
It's weird because when I used to go to Vegas, and I used to give myself at least 4 or 5 weeks, but I used to give myself the first week to 10 days dedicated solely to WSOP single table sats. And I'd literally be in the Rio constantly regging and because at the time you used to get lambs for winning them, which you'd either use for.
Did they drop? Have they stopped those, or there was a couple? Did they?
I don't know.
Change the ruling or something. Yeah.
It was a really big hoo-ha about it a couple of years ago, where like loads of people had loads of delivered, and like on day 1C of the main, they brought on this rule that you could now no longer use lammers unless you had the proof of your win and your passport. And like there was these like loads of, and
this I presume was to stop people from playing the satellites, then selling them at maybe a slight discount to get to shift them on and turn them into cash. Yeah.
I think it was, and it's something that it's something I guess that had always been done, but they literally brought this in and on like day 1C of the main, where obviously a lot of people had already purchased these with a view to buying in, and they're like, no. So obviously people had all these lammers that they couldn't prove that they
just going to jump to the PLO because I thought we were going to be there because Andres had made the shove with 17 bigs. Yanni already made
his second charge there though. It was 80-70 last there.
Yeah, he's got a 3-1 chip lead here now, and I thought that hand was going to be it, but Yanni decided to fold. We'll keep an eye on this one for a little bit because this could quickly escalate here and be done.
Yeah.
Leigh, are you driving up to DTD?
Yes, I am. Yes.
You're going to throw the soundboard in the back?
I can bring mine if you'd rather not take yours. Yeah.
Well, because I might be going on a train. Which case?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's fine. I'll do that then. Just
It's good,
give me.
it's good that you're having this conversation in front of all these people.
Yeah,
Detail.
Mate, honest to God, diesel's nearly £2 a litre. So if you don't mind swinging by Yeovil, I'll
Just ping me a shopping list of anything else you need. Cabling.
Will do,
and,
Leigh.
I'll do that.
I'll get on.
Yeah.
You're bringing the soundboard to Vegas as well, Lee. Yeah, we're going to do.
Obviously, goes without saying.
Do live from the Cosmo.
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene, Leigh, in the movie Leon? Did you ever see the movie Leon the Hitman?
Seen it a few times. Yeah.
There you go. Great movie. The scene where Gary Oldman is stood in the foyer of this building with hundreds of cops running up the stairs, and he's still going on to the central, sort of saying, "No, send everyone." So on the cables front, Leigh, bring everything.
Okay. Yeah. See what I can do.
It'll all go in the mini, yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll be good. I've only got to pick JP up on the way through, so I'll be fine. Yeah. I'll be messaging JP. Go, JP, if you could just pack light, that would be great. Yeah, if you could do that.
So you are offering lifts. Ironically, I nearly popped in to pick my medal up the other day because I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think where I was, but I'm pretty sure.
You accuse me of thin brags, and I thought I'd come and pick my medal up.
Well, were you near me, Dan? Yeah.
I was in the middle of some random place that I didn't actually know where I was, but
it's probably near me then. Yeah.
I think it was a place called Canford.
Oh yeah, Canford. So you were quite close. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have been massively disappointed because Tom's got all the medals. But anyway, it would have been nice to see you. I'd have made you a cup of tea. It would have been fine. Yeah. So,
yeah, there wasn't a lot in Canford. I think there was a car garage and a co-op.
That's about right. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, I must have got lost at some point or whatever. And I went to
where
Wimborne
were you going?
Well.
Where were you going from or to?
Went to Wimborne as well.
Oh yeah, Wimborne is really close to me.
That is you, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it? Yeah. I was.
We're sort of on the outskirts of Wimborne. So yeah.
I was down in Poole.
Poole, very nice too.
Yeah, there wasn't a pool in sight.
No, there wouldn't be, but there is a sea. There is water.
Nobody was
nice
playing
part of the world.
Altogether disappointing.
Yeah. What were you doing? Popping in to see Harry Redknapp or something? Were you?
Yeah, apparently his gaff's up for sale. And
hello, Dan. That is the worst Harry Redknapp
was that your
impression.
Was that your Harry
ever.
Redknapp impression?
Dan.
Wow.
Yeah. No, so before, his place is up for sale. So I thought I'd come and case the joint.
Very nice indeed. Yeah.
Lovely, rowly, powly. No, that's it's just getting worse, guys. I'm gonna stop. I'm out of form.
So Matt Rogers in the chat. Hi guys, just wondering how Yanni's getting on. Can we watch it for a bit? Well, yeah, I did without even reading your message because we were just chatting there. It's on, so we are watching him there now. So Carl's asking Dan, did you have any time to play poker with all the mobility scooter shenanigans in Vegas?
I gotta be honest. I doubt there's any left. I can remember one trip I lost 8. And by the end of the time, I still had 7 keys, but no scooters.
Bloody hell!
Nice.
One of them met a really, really sorry end because there's like a McDonald's, but you have to go. It's got an escalator that goes up, but only stairs that come down. I think I got dared that I couldn't ride the mobility scooter down the up escalator.
Oh dear.
When it goes wrong, there's nowhere for it to go apart from tumble to the bottom. And I'm going to say then things aren't the most robust. So I think I've got pictures of that somewhere, and it's quite a sad sorry state. So I think they basically gave up, let me hire them.
It's even sadder for the 2 old women who ran over at the bottom of the escalator. Bodies everywhere.
The greatest thing is every single when you're going up to doors, or when you're going to poker rooms, or when you're going into the front, everybody just presses the button and gets out the way for you to just pile on through. So
big pot here.
Saves you a ridiculous amount of time.
Big pot here.
Oh, it is a big pot.
Nielsen's SPR is less than 1. What's he going to do?
Oh, there you go.
There we
There's your
go.
answer.
Right then, Yanni, you wanted to play big pot. What now?
It's not an insta call, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ace 4 is already called, and you just say if he's got it, he's got it. So it's some sort of two-pair draw combo. Or
Yeah.
That's even those stacks up now, isn't it?
That's, yeah.
Yanni taking a nice lead, and they're almost bang level now.
Simon Lawler says, back in the distant past, I remember John Shipley having a massive amount of lammers and selling them on day one of a main at Binions.
That is a while back.
I'd say that is back in the distant past, very much so. Yeah.
So I'm wondering what they're doing, because obviously I don't know if that was a WSOP rule or if it was something the Rio brought in. So I don't know obviously what the form is now, because I can't remember the last time I went to Vegas.
I feel like we need a quick message and getting our Vegas APAT show Vegas reporter to dial in, and we can say, can you go and find out what's going on with lammers? We want to know what's the situation with lammers.
Get in the queue.
And make a better effort of it than trying to find Shug last night. Yeah, if you could, that'd be great.
Well, I still think there's a spot tonight though, if we can get him on. We've got plenty of time. We've got plenty of room for him. So we need to hear all about it, I'm afraid.
I think your answer would be they don't seem to do many lammers in the Chanel shop.
I'll reach out to Shug. Let's see if we can get him on. Okay.
Okay. That would be awesome. Apart from we want to hear about his poker and not as upset about withholding his money for his ITIS.
I saw
that. which seems to be far more concerning to him than actually winning a load of cash.
Yeah. I haven't told him yet how much it costs to actually get a US tax return done. Yeah.
That's twice as much as he's looking for.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
But by the time he files it, he still will end up with £1.87 back.
it's still worth doing, but the trouble is you can file it yourself, to be perfectly honest. But the paperwork, they don't make the paperwork easy to do, and it's all got to be done manually because you can't file it electronically because you're not from the States. So the whole thing is just it's one of those where you're better off paying for somebody to do it, but you're not going to get anyone to do it for next to nothing for you.
With the exchange rate at the moment, $1,500 is about 1,500 quid, so it's probably worth doing.
Yeah. So, but he might lose about a third of that, maybe a little bit more to get it done. So, but worth doing, worth doing. And you get a nice check from the IRS turn up in the post, which is always a nice thing. And you wander into your bank going, I need to pay these dollars in, please. And they look at you like you're on another planet.
Does anyone know whether ITINs expire if they're unused? I read something that suggested they expire after 3 years, but I don't know whether that's true or not.
I think it is 3 years.
It's literally like 3 years and a week since mine got used, so that's going to annoy the hell out of me. First world problems, usual thing.
I did think it was a little bit harsh, like some of the comments said, Robin X whatever, and I'm thinking, well, hang on,
they're not. They're not. They're just following the rules.
It's their country. It's their tax laws. Now, if they go starting handing money out willy nilly, I'm sure they're going to be accountable and answerable.
And I think the only issue is where when the World Series was at the Rio, it was all legit there for them to effectively release ITINs there and then for you, so they could do it for you. Whereas they've not got that in place for Paris and Bally's, from what I can understand.
Yeah, although Caesars could be more helpful to players, I also get that this is happening thousands of times a day, and just think of the administrative burden if they were going to do it for everybody.
Administration-wise, it's time-consuming, and time-consuming is staff-consuming, and that costs money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you know you're going to play, well, you could always get one done before you go.
I wonder if renewing one is any quicker than getting one in the first place.
Yes, it is.
You know that for sure.
Yeah,
nice one.
I can't remember the exact process because it was, when did I last renew mine?
Realistically, it's let's cross that bridge if we come to it now, because I'm going like next Sunday. So
you're not going to get it by then. But
I'm not sure. Does it have what dates does it have on the ITIN? Does it have a date or not?
I don't know. I'll dig it out. I didn't think it had dates on it. That was why I was.
I don't think it had.
But that was why I was surprised to read that it does expire after 3 years. If it's unused,
it doesn't have dates on it. But if it's unused and sort of remains dormant, it basically does expire.
How did they? If they're only they fill in all their paperwork manually, or they did when I last went. So they've got no way of knowing. If you've got the document, they go, oh, that's not, and they fill in the numbers. They then pay you out. You're done, aren't you? So how does that work?
Well, hopefully we'll get to find out in a couple of weeks.
I'm pretty sure an ITIN doesn't have a date on it. I'm sure it doesn't have a date on it.
No, but like Dan says, just because it doesn't have a date, and it doesn't mean they can't expire it if it's idle for more than 3 years.
No, but what I'm saying is that the casinos fill in manual paperwork. It's all paperwork. There's nothing done electronically. So at that point, they filled in your number. They've taken everything off the ITIN to put on their paperwork, so they've got it all legit their end. They give you the receipt and they pay you out full. So as long as you've got an ITIN, whether it how do they know? They're not looking at how do they know?
How would the casino know?
And also, when you last used your ITIN, Paul,
which was 3 years ago, almost today.
No. But my point is, it didn't get stamped or anything. Going right, it's now been used, so you're good for another 3 years.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what forms. I don't know what forms I send off to the IRS.
But the point is, afterwards, they've already paid you out.
Well, you don't, because you just show them your ITIN and they send the forms off.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's still manual paperwork, then it doesn't matter, because you say that it'll be passed. You know.
Yeah, okay. As long as they're not going on the IRS website and putting my ITIN in, and
unless they're putting that in and going, oh, it's expired. But I don't remember them do. They were sat when, well, mind you, 5 years ago when I last cashed. So yeah,
this is broadcast gold, by the way.
No, it's actually genuinely interesting.
It's like you're creating an educational video for travelers. Okay, just hold a second. I think we can do better.
Oh, he's got him.
Hi, Des.
It's only Shug Kearney, the latest in a long list of APAT heroes who have captured Vegas. Shug, lovely to speak to you.
Des, I can't hear a word you're saying.
You can't hear me? Oh, my word. Can you any better now, Shug?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me now, Shug? Shug?
Hi, Des.
Shug,
can you hear me?
It's all right. Des has just got a funny accent. Speak to us.
Yeah, I've got you now.
Oh, fantastic. Shug, how are you doing? Big congratulations on the result in the seniors and the result post-seniors. Just tell us about your experience. I'm sat with Leigh. I'm sat with Dan Owston, and we've got Paul Haycock here as well. Obviously, got a bunch of people watching in. Also, tell us all about it, Shug.
Nothing much to tell, Des. I got some cards and I got lucky. No skill involved whatsoever. Good experience. Lots of people playing in a massive hall. We got moved from Paris through to Bally's in a long train when we went down to one room. Just like a great experience. I've played one WSOP event before, about 4 years ago, and I cashed in that one as well. So I'm feeling that this is my lucky place. But on day 3, I sat opposite Donica O'D, and that was Donica O'D. Sorry,
yeah.
And that was a real pleasure. What a gentleman! Enjoyed his company for a while, but really nice. And one of the guys was saying he much preferred the seniors event because it doesn't have these young guys who are super aggressive. And so that aspect of it was brilliant as well. Really played in a really nice atmosphere.
Oh, it's nice. But listen, Shug, you sat with a lot of experienced players, right? There were a lot of players. I mean, you outlasted Donica O'D, but there were a lot of experienced players like Kathy Liebert and lots of others who, went deeper in that event. I mean, it must have been pretty competitive, right?
Yeah. And I guess I went out because I was at a table where I had 4 large stacks and they all knew how to play them. And I couldn't get in. I'd gone card dead. I couldn't find a spot, and a couple of times I just shoved all in from under the gun, and everybody thought, "Oh, this guy must be really tight." But I had nothing, and it was the only way I could keep on, getting chips every round. It was really hard going, and eventually a guy min raised, and I thought I've got to go again. I shoved all in with King Queen, and he had ace jack, and I didn't improve. So it was a mixture of being card dead at the end and fighting against big stacks, but with people who really knew what they were doing. So I'm just pleased that I did so well.
Yeah, no, a fantastic learning experience of that. There's no doubt. You got a lot of support, in the various chat boxes on Facebook and stuff like that. That was lovely to see. What was your feeling when you went out, Shook? Was it, wow, look what I've done? Or was it disappointment? I mean, what did you feel?
I'd set myself a number of targets to make day 2, to cash, to make day 3, to make the top 100. So I made 97. So I did all that. And I was only, a couple of places away from laddering up for another $700 or whatever. I can't remember what the figure was. But, that made me feel good. But, even when you come second in a poker tournament, you're pissed off because you really want to win, So always losing, because, unless you win the tournament, you've always lost. So you got that kind of negative feeling. Yeah. So I walked out going, did I make the right decision? I thought, well, I did, because I was down to some like 8 or 9 big blinds and I had to do something. So I made the right move and I didn't get lucky. And I was walking away thinking, well, that'll be okay. And then, of course, I got hit with a 30% tax from the IRS.
We heard about that.
That just finished me off.
That's the Scotsman coming out and shook there, guys.
That's the first I've heard of that. What happened with that?
No, it's not the Scot. It's okay. It's my ignorance of these things. I've never cashed that amount in America before. So there you go. I'll just take that one on the chin and see what I can do when I get home.
But you'll get it back, Shug, right? It's just a matter of, it might take you 6 months, maybe 9 months. Leigh's been through this experience before. A lot of APATers have. You will get it back, but it'll tie in with a tax year and what have you. So it'll be a nice little gift down the road. Is that correct, Leigh?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, you'll pay there'll be a little bit of a fee for somebody to actually get the tax return done for you. But yeah, eventually you get the money and say you get a check in the post. So that's the way it works.
Shug,
let's hope that works.
How did you find it physically? So 2.5 days demanding, obviously required a lot of concentration and stuff like that. Long days, I'm sure. How did that side of things go for you?
The first day was fine. It was 11 hours spaced out over, I don't know, must have been about 14 hours. But I get back to the hotel room and I'm still wired and I couldn't sleep. It took me a long time, and then I was up early the next morning. So the second day was quite difficult. And then we had a long pause round about the bubble because there was some computer issues, 40, 50 minutes we were sitting around doing nothing. And at the end of day 2, I was so tired. But I didn't play long enough on Wednesday to feel the effect.
Yeah.
But it's a great experience. I'm happy. I can sit back and reflect on it and think, well, you know what? I must have played okay to get to that position.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, we're all in awe at Shook, a magnificent performance. And listen, you celebrated your cash with, I think, a disappointing Gordon Ramsay's and a cash in a follow-on event that evening.
Yeah, I happened to go for a $100 buy-in at Caesars, and I was something like 14th alternate. I got in, and I'm much softer than playing in the WSOP, and we got down to 9 players, and this guy says, "Let's chop," and I'm kind of looking at him going, "You got to be kidding here," He says, "Oh, we'll get $400 each." So
what kind of nit chops anything 9 ways, by the way?
That is literally Caesar's protocol. That once you get to the final table, it's like, do you want to do a 9-way chop? Or every single Caesar's tournament is ridiculous. It is like normal for Caesar's.
It was just a ridiculous request, and there was a number of people said no, and we were having a little bit of fun. It was good company. And typical me, I was chip leader with only 3 players left and tried to knock out the small stack and got beat. I ran into queens and tens and successive. And the guy who had proposed the chop, when we were down to 3, had said he didn't want to chop anyway because now he was chipped up. I'm like, oh well, fair enough. That's the way you're going to be. So I just went, just threw my chips in, and that was me out in third. So I could have played it a little bit more seriously, but it was 12 o'clock at night, and I was ready for my bed.
Ah, fair enough. Sounds like you're on a roll, Shug. Tell me, have you caught up with any other APATers? We sent our roving reporter Natalie Bromley out to find you last night. She obviously didn't manage to get hold of you, but who else have you seen over there?
Yeah, I've had a chat with Stuart Oliver a couple of times. He's playing the deep stack just now. I've
Brilliant.
sent him a message to find out how he's doing. I walked past Lindsay, I can't remember her second name, and said, "Hi, Lindsay," and she just kept on walking. She's another Blue Blood member. So I thought, oh, well, that's me done something to annoy her. But, of course, I was wearing a hat and dark glasses, so maybe I was in disguise, you know.
Flying under the
I haven't
radar.
caught up with it. Haven't caught anybody else up, but I'm on to the Super Seniors tomorrow, and
Superb.
hopefully I'll run good in that.
Well, I tell you, listen, Shug, we're going to be funking big style for you for the rest of the week. Good luck in the Super Seniors. Yeah, obviously getting a lot of support from this side of the Atlantic. We're going to let you back to your thing. Any last questions for Shug, guys, before we let the...
when you're back, Shug, I guess we won't see you at the weekend, will we? But when you're back?
I fly out Saturday morning. So I won't be catching up with you then.
And you fly to East Midlands so you can light reg the APAT main. Is that the way you go?
Hey, I'm flying British Air. I'll probably end up coming back by Wednesday. I'll be there.
that's what I'm hearing. That's a common story.
And your bags by October. Yeah.
Yeah. Before I go, guys, can I just say I really appreciate all the support and messages that I've had over the last few days. Made me feel really good, and love the support I've had from the APAT community.
Superb to hear, Shug.
Well done, Shug. It was.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's nothing nicer than watching the good guys. The good guys run deep in poker comps. It's great.
It's definitely a two-way thing because we were all funking hard for you, mate.
Okay. Well, nice speaking to you guys, and best of luck in all your next poker tournaments as well.
Oh, thanking you kindly, Shug. Have fun
Cheers,
for the rest of your
Enjoy
week.
the rest of the week.
Sure.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, there we go, guys. Shug, all the way from Vegas.
Absolutely loving the inadvertent needle against Wiltshire there, by the way. Yeah, who would even consider a 9-way chop? What kind of ultimate even
Well done, Des. We probably need to point out that the PLO's finished.
Yes, it has.
Yeah,
so,
I missed it. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're okay. It's kind of
well done,
both.
Des. Well done.
But
Des.
either way, whatever, and eventually Yanni just got the wrong end of it.
That was bizarre. Did you see
Oh,
it?
that's disappointing.
Andreas was down to less than 20 bigs, and 5 hands later he'd won the tournament. It just smashed 3.
Momentum just changed, didn't it? It just changed.
Yeah,
I saw there was one super key hand.
Yeah, Yanni was doing the right thing. He was trying to put the hammer down with the big stack, and just lost 3 in a row.
And I actually think the guy was getting fed up with being outplayed by Yanni. He just thought, you know, I'm going to get it all in pre, and we're going to have a spin. Because
he picked up some good holdings as well, though.
Because I think Yanni got him 3-1, and he got back up to level 3-1, and it was like Yanni keeps on outplaying me. The only way I'm going to win this is by taking luck into play and really trying to get as many as I can in pre, which is what he did, and he managed to win 3 out of 3.
Yeah, exactly. So it ended up that Yanni finished in second place and picked up about $1,100 in the end, and Andreas took down the win and over $2,000 up top. Interestingly, we're still 6-handed in this online championship final table. It's leveled out a little bit. Huberto's lost a few more chips, and whilst the blinds have been going up and Huberto's big blind stack has been dropping, the others have been kind of keeping reasonably level what they've got. Jamie's the short stack with 8 bigs, but plenty, you know. It's still kind of anyone's really. I mean, there's not a huge amount between.
There's 2 halves of the field now. I mean, we've got 3 10 big blind stacks or thereabouts. They've still got the eye on the ICM, but if I'm Roberto, I think I'm still applying the pressure where I can. Death by 1,000 cuts by Machete.
So and I've got Leigh would call it interesting, but an accountant would. But if you the middle digits of your ITIN end in 83, 84, 85, 86, or 87, they're now expired. So it basically is if your ITIN wasn't included in the US federal tax return in 2019, 20, or 21, it's now expired in 2022.
So that's how the venue would know that then. So the
if it
number
has
the
the-
number
yeah.
itself tells them whether it's expired.
Yeah, they use the middle digits, and
No, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any
What?
sense. Oh, do you because you don't get given a new number, do you, when you put one in? Do you? So you've got the same number, haven't you?
Yeah.
So how would they know whether that's been used in the last 3 years for it to therefore expire?
Unless when they put it on the form, they have this little, I don't know, and they might have an app that they check it on, and they tap in the ITIN before they put in the form, and it says whether it's valid or not.
Yeah, that's the only way they can do it. So if they're not electronically checking it, they've got no way of knowing.
No.
Yeah.
So what were the digits, Dan?
Basically 83 through 87. If you go on, I'll send you the link.
Is 96 good news or bad news?
Actually,
96 sounds great news.
If you Google,
that's
numbers expire?
I don't think that's right.
I don't need Google. I've got you. You literally just said what I needed to know. Well, here we go.
Oh.
And it's a double up for Jamie.
I just need to know whether 96 is good news or bad news.
When can I renew?
Again, amazing TV for anyone watching. Sorry.
I'll have to say, Shug sounded very positive, didn't he? Sounded like he was having a whale of a time over there.
Sounds like
winning money, eating at Gordon Ramsay's, and taking down tournaments for fun and upsetting people.
That sounds a bit like someone who's just
happy days. Happy days.
Oh, Jamie's doubled up.
Yeah, just jumped through count. So it's See, this is I do think because of the money jumps here, it's really makes this dynamic of this six-handed say nobody wants to be busting now because it's just worth a couple of
But there's only so
couple of
far that
thousand.
can go, and 8 bigs is probably as far as it can go.
I was going to say 8 and 10, but you don't want to bust. If you got 10 bigs before the guy's got 8. However, you've got to say, well, is that $700 jump more important than you actually having a shot at winning the thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie's all in here.
Jamie understands that. He's experienced enough to know about that. Oh,
that's the call. He needs to hit an ace.
And well, as I said, it's the right play, and
yeah. Never going to criticise that.
No, a man who's got a 70k score isn't going to be looking for $700 pay jump. He's going to say, well, actually, I've got the chance here to win this, and this is my spot.
And now David's all in next hand, and Victor's made the call. He's in a good spot here.
He's got Dominic.
He's in a great spot.
Oh, life got so much better for David in the last 2 hands.
Yeah, so it has a pay jump of $600 and is now double
and a double up.
Yeah.
So
Victor though takes the chip lead. Yeah.
Triss is saying out there, guys, Jimmy Berlin, geez, a name from the past. Good to see him playing. Richard Baker's there as well. We're going to need a bigger safe. Indeed.
Is that for Shug?
I would imagine that's for Shug.
So, well, Victor having the chip lead, that's cut Machete down to size, isn't it?
Hey.
So guys,
he literally is here all week. Yeah.
Look, let me ask you a question. Shug's out in Vegas. Let's say he'd won, I don't know, $30,000, right? I mean, obviously, cashes out his chips. They give him cash, or does he request a bank transfer? I mean, is there ever a time when a player like Shug, so a rec player, is walking around with 15 or 20,000 in cash and putting it in his hotel room safe?
Absolutely.
Happens all the time. All the time.
Varies by venue.
Let's hear your stories, guys. Come on.
In my limited experience, it varies by venue. Venetian just gave me chips. They gave me like a $25,000 chip.
Paul had a 25k chip at
the size of a dinner plate. I clutched it like this across to the cage and took the cash back with it.
I was like security walking through the Venetian with him, and frog marched it back to the room. Yeah,
had to declare it at the airport. I was the last person on the plane because I was talking to 2 armed security guys about why I was taking $40,000 in cash on a plane. I was like, we're in Vegas. This must happen all the time, and it was completely normal and fine. But they wanted to talk to me for a while about that. And then at the win, I asked them to transfer it across to my bank. They said, yeah, sure. You just have to have your what's it?
IBAN and stuff like that.
IBAN and
Cool.
your
What's
IBAN
your-
stuff, and your Swift
Yeah.
and Swift and all that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And your bit.
Yeah, and
And your
Swift code, bit codes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that was fine. And they, because I already had 90 in then, because the Venetian sorted me out in the earlier one, I just got it all straight away. Whereas Venetian, obviously, I had to surrender the 30% and got it back later once I got my IT in.
Yeah.
But the Venetian sorted all of that for me. I didn't have to lift a finger.
Yeah.
Whereas the Golden Nugget did not do that for you, did they?
Because I'm guessing if you had to leave like $20,000 or $30,000 worth of dollars in your safe, you're never going to leave your room. It's like
Why?
I'm not leaving that there.
Well, no, I had the sense.
How much do we have? How much have we ever had in a Vegas room, Paul? Between the two of us, probably
It wasn't far off 50, was it?
probably wasn't far off
Bloody
50.
hell.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And what
But
did you do?
then we had the sense.
Did you walk away from it?
We had the good sense of winning our tournaments right at the end of the trip.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which meant two things. One, we didn't have to worry about leaving it in the hotel room, and
Yeah.
the other is that we didn't just spend the whole night.
I can tell you a great story. So the one that Paul's talking about with the Golden Nugget win for me, where they didn't do the ITIN for me. I spent most of the day. I wrote a little blog about sort of 6 taxi journeys in one day because I won the money. Said to them all, just hang fire. I'll see if I can find someone that can sort me out an ITIN. So off I went round. I went to the Rio and asked them there, would they be able to do that for me? No, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. As David's all in with ace-8 against Roberto's ace-queen, and we're going to lose David in 5th place, picking up $2,600. Yeah. So eventually, Paul had gone off to, but we saw Eddie Izzard that night, didn't we?
Yeah, palms.
Yeah. So Paula managed to go and get 2 tickets for Ezzy Izzard. I'd been doing scooting around everywhere, up and downtown, back to the strip, whatever. Eventually went back down to the Golden Nugget, going, right, well, I'll take the cash. So cashed out for about 10 or 11,000, I think it was 10,000 something. Has got another all in accordance manual with ace-7 against the 8-10 of Kenneth. Ace-7's at risk. He's going to get a double up. Yeah. So eventually got a taxi back to, where was Eddie Izzard playing? Sands?
Palms. Yeah.
Palms. We had something to eat there. So I had the money in my bag.
Except we didn't, but yeah.
How much did you have,
so
Leigh?
we didn't eat about 10,000 something odd in my bag. We went in and watched Eddie Izzard, came back out of there, couldn't get a taxi from Palm, so said, oh, we'll just wander down, we'll walk down to the Rio. So we wandered down the road to it's not a great bit of Vegas to be walking.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah.
No.
Eventually, I picked up a taxi from the Rio and went back to the, and it's only at the point I got to the Venetian, I went, shit, I've got 10 grand in my bag. I'd completely forgotten about it because I cashed it and just was now wanting to get to do the evening stuff.
You missed out the bit where they took your bag off you because you couldn't take it into the show.
Oh, I couldn't. They wouldn't let me take my iPad into the Eddie Izzard. They'd allow people in with phones, wouldn't let me in with an iPad. So I had to go and put the iPad at the front desk because I wasn't going to put my bag in there.
As opposed to the bag with you.
yeah. Like...
Whereas when I cashed mine in the Venetian, I went cashed it straight in at the cash desk, got dollar bills, put it in the front of my scooter, and went straight to the Grand Lux Cafe, where we proceeded to find some guy who was having his first ever legal drink in America, and supposedly his first ever drink ever, which is, we said, right, here's $100, we're going to buy you a pint of Long Island iced tea with
Oh,
Brilliant.
reinvesting.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
If you don't mind, Leigh, this time I'm going to get my big win at the front end, so we can just spend the rest of the time just
that's fine.
spending it all rather than worrying about getting on.
You have some great. So first time we went out to Vegas, we had a really good kind of end of it. We booked tickets to go and see Penn and Teller. So Stu, Oliver, and Amanda, we'd sorted these tickets out early on in the trip, and then the Bromleys were with us as well. So we managed to get a couple more tickets for them. So the 6 of us were all right. So we first of all we went to eat at Wolfgang Puck's restaurant, and
was it Cut?
Yeah, Cuts. Yeah, in the bit where you walk between the Venetian and the Palazzo.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Absolutely stunning, and so I had a great time there, and came out of there as a well. We now need to get over to the Rio, and we're walking down the steps to go out to find a taxi, and there's a limo just parked out the front, stretched limo, and I don't know, it was Adam and Stu. Well, we're going in that, aren't we? a week. And next thing you know, we're all piled into that to get from the Venetian up to the Rio to the Penantella. Yeah, cracking night. So one of the last nights we had at Vegas on the first trip. Awesome stuff.
Fantastic.
That was a good night, good day and night actually, because I mean we started pretty early. I think I worked it out. It was like a 15-hour session by the time we finished.
Yeah, but it was very, very good.
That's an amateur session in Vegas, to be fair. You can do 70 no problem.
Came out the final place. Had no idea whether it was day or night, and turned out it was broad daylight.
Simon is asking in the chat box, Paul, did you watch? Was that the night you watched Simon Deadman on the final table?
That as well.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, we did that as well. Yeah.
I
remember that.
Bracelet, came second and had 500,000 reasons to be cheerful.
Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely. This is getting super good here now because they're fourth place. So the guys are guaranteed $3,765. So the next pay jump is nearly $2,000. Ken is sat there on 5 bigs. He's looking across at Manuel, who's got 13 bigs, thinking he could just bust. I'm going to pick up another $2,000.
But now
what does he do?
Stacks have made this a really interesting dynamic.
Here we go.
Yeah, so he's going to go with it with Queen 10 suited.
He's not going to get there.
And he's not going to get there, which means Manuel is the one that's going to be guaranteed the of the short stacks. So we're in the medals, guys. This is it.
Here we go.
Still living the way Alberto's playing this. He's undeterred by the fact that he's lost the chip lead and he's putting max pressure on the short stacks. I think I'm team Alberto.
Yep. So it's Victor from Sweden, Herberto from Argentina, and Manuel from Peru. And straight away in with the ace king, and he's going to be absolutely smashed there. And we've gone very quickly now from sort of 5-handed. We're 6-handed for absolutely ages, and we are now heads up. We're the 2 that have really been the ones that have had stacks on this final table. So well played to Manuel Montoya from Peru, picks up $5,727, and of course the all important APAT.
I want to go with Tom to the post office when he's sending all these medals out. Yeah, that one's got to go to Peru. That one Bolivia. That one Venezuela, Lithuania, and all the rest of them.
The South American ones are never. We've never had any of those come back. It's so the issues we've had have been Russia, Kazakhstan, Georgia. They've been the problem ones for us. And if either of the 2 players that want their bracelets from last year after they got returned twice, they're on my shelf behind here, and they are there for them if they ever want to. If they happen to be passing Wimborne and want to pick them up, then
I had something really interesting happen maybe about 3 months ago, where a pair of trainers that were sent to me in 2010 from America turned up back in America, but the guy who'd sent them to me, I'd moved house. He'd also moved house. They got back to America via the Ukraine, so I can only assume when he's put UK on the box, somebody said, "Oh well, UK, that can go to Ukraine."
Wow.
It's basically spent 1.5 years in the Ukraine and then managed to get back to the USA, but obviously he's got a return address which is his previous address.
Yeah.
So he's managed to locate his new address.
Well, did you not hear the show earlier on in the week where Des says occasionally he responds to an email from 14 years ago or something, and randomly one he's not replied back to, randomly just replies back to it and see what happens.
But it's done as if there's nothing odd in it.
I had somebody do that to me with a Facebook comment, and somebody put like "good luck," and I went, "The last comment on this thread is 11 years ago," and he's just gone, "Good luck."
That's a long tournament.
Yeah, hell of a bubble.
I was going to say that the difference between second and first money here is $3,700. So it's this is the biggest value heads up of the week by a significant amount.
It's going to get tasty because the flop probably doesn't change much.
It doesn't. So you'd like to see Herberto shove here, because I'm not sure what Victor could be trying to represent here.
But he was the pre-flop aggressor as well, so we can rep an overpair if indeed that's not what he got.
No, Herberto 3-bet pre and Victor called.
Was just go? I thought it was 4-bet pot pre.
But definitely Herberto was the last aggressor with 7 million, and Victor called the 7 million pre.
Okay. 7 million.
How many bigs was that? Dan, how many bigs was that?
Are you so dedicated to this that instead of watching the stream, you're watching the table so you can have it not on big blinds?
Absolutely.
Wow. that's just obstinate. That was...
Only because I can't understand it, and I don't want to appear stupider than I already do. All I understand is the chips usually end up in front of me, so I don't really work on big blinds.
Well, last night was proof of that. Yeah, so that's fine. Yeah.
You won't find out until Sunday, but it will happen, Paul.
Everybody else on Sunday's coming back going, I've got 50 bigs, I've got 60 bigs, and Dan's just gonna be, I've got 1.4 million. That's it.
Yeah, I have no.
But the awkward thing about that is that we don't know, because you're being awkward and not telling us what level we're going to start at on the Sunday.
It's because we don't know at the moment until the other two play out. Yeah, come on. Yeah,
how much is it worth to you? We can barter. We can barter on this topic.
Just start again. Just reset the clock from the start of the tournament, and everyone starts. Everyone starts with 3,000 bigs.
Yeah. I'm all for it being reset to the previous level as opposed to going up to the next level.
It'll be the earliest level of all of
I think we've got in there, the wording is it's the earliest level or an average stack of 33 bigs, which is where Tom has his cutoff. That is how it should play. So so you guys were into
how many are going to be coming back then? It's probably going to be what, 70 or 80 or more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting. I mean, I'd love us to beat our record, which was at Dust Dawn in 2013, which was 450 something, 457. I want to say.
Okay, so less than that then. Yeah. So probably 50.
So I mean, bear in mind we've already got 70 played yesterday. We've got capacity with the 2-day ones to do 405, but they're obviously soft caps, so potentially, they could fit a few more in. During the late reg,
but that's just from the live one. So but
it really depends. We don't know. We might find that we don't quite get those caps at Dusk Till Dawn. I'd hope we would. I think the locals will turn out to want to play it as well. The regs at Dusk Till Dawn will want to play that as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and especially the fact that actually you're limited to 1 day one. And I think I did some guerrilla maths, and I reckon it's going to be about 380.
What runners in total?
I think 380 runners. I think we just shy of the 4. I think we'll have about. I think there'll be about. What do I look at? I think about 150 on the Friday, and then probably 180 on the Saturday.
And if those numbers are right, then that would give us 65 coming back for day.
So you think about 150 on the Friday and 180 on the Saturday.
That makes 400.
That makes 330 plus the 70 is 400 then.
Yeah.
You're including the online day one already. Okay, so
yeah.
So 330 plus so about 400. Yeah, which would be, to be honest, if it starts at the 4, we're going to be pretty happy with that. Would love to break the record. I know Rob would like the record to be broken as well, because he likes that that kind of thing. It's all good for the club as well. Love to smash 500, but we'll be pushed to do that, I think. But in saying that, we ran the event in London not that long ago with a similar thing. We actually had significantly less. Not many people actually played the online day one. It was about 20 something odd. We ended up with 429 runners in that.
Wasn't it multi-live entry that you could play?
Yeah, but hardly anybody did.
Okay.
We trialed it, and the reason why we pulled it back is because it wasn't of any interest. I think we had there was 3 people, I think, that fired all 3 bullets, and I think about less than 5% of the field had a re-entry.
Yeah, and I was going to say Asper Stratford is a really, really active poke zone and a really busy club, but then so is Dust Till Dawn.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. Crikey, I'm thinking aloud.
Do you think we'll make the guarantee?
Yeah, I think we'll make the seat. We'll make the £3,000 seat.
I think we'll be good. Yeah.
This time next week, done and dusted. Crikey.
Yeah, Deb will be completely done. Dustin will be back home this time next week.
So 400 runners makes a 50 grand pot, yeah? Is that?
Yeah.
Poor Tris is saying, I know a few who fired.
A little club. Yeah, very unique. Club. Limited numbers.
Yeah. They don't call Tristan the blind squirrel for nothing.
We had to change his name from Triplin to Barrelin.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a bit of the Tom Bacon about him that weekend. It was certainly there.
Can you not needle my England players just as we're about to?
Oh, sorry. Is that he won't get put off by that sort of thing? Surely not.
No, he's more sensitive than you think.
Oh, really? Okay, fine. I'm more worried that it's going to affect his golf game come Friday. To be honest, that's my main focus.
I've never spoken to Tom about golf, but he looks the sort, and he strikes me as a good golfer, does Tom?
Well, I've just been chatting to a one of the Team Gotham crew who doesn't seem that confident in their ability.
I thought they've got a semi-pro.
They're really worried that Simon's going to line them up for some ridiculous side bets that's going to cost them a fortune. And I'm thinking I'm not signing up for any of this because we're going to get stitched completely because they're going to be good. But they don't seem to be very now unless it's a double bluff, proper different meta game thing going on here, and I'm being played. But I'm not sure there's confident, and I'm liking the signing of Dan to our team.
Yeah,
Tom was straight in there, so I'm confident that Tom can swing a putter.
Yeah,
I'm really confident.
And Leigh, this is Thursday night, right? Thursday night for the golf.
Friday morning.
Oh no! I mean to walk the course.
I walk the course. Yeah, walk the course
to sort out the yardage and the bunker placements and all of that stuff.
Because there's no point in the MTT, so we can just miss that and go and play.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we know we've mentioned this long lunch on Friday because obviously we've got nothing to do on Friday until 9. So I was thinking regular mini golf in the morning and then pub golf in the afternoon.
Oh God! I can see the light flashing before me already.
Because I think we could probably take them in the pub golf.
So Triplin's in the chat. He says, "I've witnessed Gotham's talent golf-wise. do we need to get Tristan? I'm worried. I just feel we're going to get on this course right. So Dan, all you need to do is just fade it round the Tyrannosaurus Rex, off the Diplodocus, and then just drop it about within sort of 12 inches of the hole if you can, and that'll be great." Yeah.
But there is a dinosaur called an Apatosaurus, by the way. That's not a joke.
Is there really? Oh.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the thread on the best round of golf ever, which it's been actually confirmed by so the best round of golf ever is I think 37 under par for a single round of golf by King Jong Il.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
I'm not sure. Apparently, it was witnessed by his bodyguards who.
Well, so genuine then. So it must have been genuine.
Was it him or was it Ian Witt?
and literally some Australian journalists for like ABC has said there were rumours that that his round could have been even better if the ball didn't get stuck in the windmill on the 5th.
Brilliant.
I will try and find it and send it to you. It's an
very
absolutely hilarious read.
Very, very good indeed.
But it's also one of the things that he genuinely claimed that he had the best round of golf ever, and somebody needs to prove that they can beat it. I think Luke Donald was world number 1 at the time.
It's Trump-esque in its the ego, isn't it? Really.
So, or delusion, yeah.
yeah, all that, yeah, exactly. So decision here with Huberto, who's kind of getting a little bit beaten up by Victor. Victor's playing this heads up very well so far. Huberto's made the call there, so there's now
getting committed here.
There's more in the middle than Huberto's got behind.
I'd like to see him shove here.
We can rep the 8. We can get him off lots of draws that have missed.
He's into his secondary time bank and checks.
Oh, I think he's awaiting action from Victor here.
He's only just checked.
Unless he's done it to check, call it off, and he's got.
That's exactly what he's done. He mightn't have been expecting the all in though.
Yeah, everything we've just said applies to Victor as well, of course.
Yeah, I think any bet on the river either has to be check or all in. I don't think there's any way in between you. You've got to be pretty polarized with what you're playing here. Herberto's probably got a queen, and there's no wondering now is his queen good.
I was just going to ask you what you do with the queen then.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you've got a queen and you call turn, you call river, right?
Yeah, it's hard to lay down the queen heads up on that board with that run out.
Yeah, and actually a lot of queens become split pots as well there.
Yeah.
So even if you've got a really awful queen, it's pretty much ace or nothing, ace or draw, and
I feel for Roberto being the one that's under pressure now, because he's the one that's been applying the most pressure right from the beginning of the final table.
Yeah, and I don't think he knows any other way to play, so I don't think he can really slow down, and he's obviously still trying to continue with his game, but he just doesn't have the stack to do it anymore.
Heads up isn't the time to slow down anyway. So.
No, definitely not. You can't be.
There we go.
Yeah, I think he's just. I was going to say, I think he's just going to follow here because he's on the ropes now. I'm afraid he's
the problem is Herberto's down to what, 16 bigs, 17 bigs. I mean, he drops down a few more, loses another couple of hands, and pretty much Victor's then at a point. Well, okay, I can try and end this here, can't I? And maybe calling off a little bit light.
Yeah, once he loses 3 or 4 more bigs, Victor can just be saying, "Well, I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in," and you get far more folded hands than you do calling off hands.
Yeah. And you're going to be very unfortunate to double him up numerous times in a row. You're going to win one of them eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gone very passive now as well, Herberto, in the last sort of few things, and he's probably feeling under it.
Yeah, he's lost confidence, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just one of them things where, as Paul said, he spent the whole final table in the position of power, being able to apply the pressure, and it's hard to change sort of the way you've been playing and just alter to. Oh, King plays. If he gets a double up, we could see a completely different story because 30 or 37 bigs against, I can't even work it out, around 80-ish, 75 isn't going to be that big a deal.
Could just look at the screen.
That's the problem. I am looking at the screen. It's just
I need glasses. At the age of 45, I've finally admitted defeat. I need reading glasses. That's how old I am.
I think my hearing will go before my eyes do. So.
You are?
Just.
Hey.
How's that, Gregor?
Nice, Dad. Nice.
It's the only way I can understand the game, and I still don't understand the game.
So we need Roberto to do what Andreas did on the other one and just absolute massive turnaround in a 4-hand spell. Just win 4 flips in a row and away we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him get back into it because he's played a thoroughly great game from everything I've watched of him.
Not that we've got anything against Victor or Swedes, of course, but I think Roberto deserves it slightly more.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And to know, is there another Swede called Victor?
Is this Isildur too? Is that his?
Victor Blom.
Wasn't Isildur Victor Blom, wasn't it?
Victor Blom,
was
yeah.
Isildur one, wasn't it?
Could this be? Could this be his sort of secret identity for getting into APAT? Because obviously we wouldn't let a professional like Isildur play. So it could well be. He's changed his name and decided to come and play at a level that more befits and suits his skill level.
Yeah, he was attracted by the guarantee and jumped into an APAT.
This is interesting because
Yeah,
Alberto's down to 10 bigs now, and this feels committed to this. And Victor's made the
Here we go.
yeah.
9,
Well, there it
10.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, sweet.
He must have been hating that 9.
Yeah.
Fair play to Victor for having a go at it, but badly timed on this occasion.
Yeah, and when you look at that hand and you look back at the one with the ace queen 8-8 thing, it makes you more think that actually, queen is probably going to be a really good call an awful lot of the time. It's just hard to make it when it's for the best part of $4,000. Head rules heart, and emotions take over.
It's another flop that could be an action one, but no.
The thing is, the structure's so deep here. They're on a 15-minute clock. I mean, we're playing blinds of 350k, 700k. I mean, the blind's going to go up in 4 minutes to 400k, 800k. It's not really much of a difference at all in the grand scheme of it.
It's not, but when you go from 25 bigs to 20, it feels like a difference.
Yeah.
And what it does is obviously it does put the pressure back on Roberto, because obviously Victor can keep chipping away at him, and once he gets, as I say, below them 15, which won't take long, then it's almost like, well, do you want to play for your stack or not?
I love heads up poker. It's one of the purest forms of poker.
We had some really good heads up contests this week. We've watched majority of the comps play down to just 2 players, and it's been really, really good, because actually they've been deep set most of the time. So it's not been a case they've got heads up and it's going to be over in a few hands.
Yeah.
They've had plenty of time to play some poker in heads up, which has been fantastic.
Yeah, no, the structures have been spot on to get to that stage, but also have reasonable finish times. I think it's been pitched about right.
Yeah, and I know some people have said, "Oh, it's 2-day comps. Oh, it's not great." But you have to compromise at some point with what you do. So if you want to get a comp through in one day, it's going to be a turbo to get it through.
Do you want bingo? Do you want a really late finish, or do you want a 2-day comp? There are your choices. Yeah.
And you've got to be looking at sensible start times. So I'm 8 o'clock UK. Okay, we could have started maybe at 7 and got a bit more out of it, but you would not want to go much later than 1 in the morning. Because 1 in the morning is still sort of 2 or potentially 3 as you go into Europe. Obviously, it's better time for a lot of the South American and Canadian players. That works for them as well. As Roberto's all in.
Fair play, Alberto. Yeah. I find myself following the Argentinians in this one. I was Team Argentina the last time I was on. It was Oscar, wasn't it? Was it Oscar? I think I called him from like 7 out, and he went on to win it. Didn't I think? Although I'm less likely to win this one with my Argentinian.
Well, Victor's climbing back on top here again, isn't he? I mean, crikey, clearly he's been on top for quite some time, but he seems to be winning the slightly bigger parts and allowing Humberto to take the smaller ones.
Yeah, it was Oscar Rodriguez in the 6-max PKO.
I remember Rodriguez.
Yeah. Of course, if Victor goes on to win, it's the puns just write themselves. It's almost not worth bothering.
Yeah.
to the victor, the spoils.
Indeed. I mean, I said that went without saying, but you said it anyway, so that's
detail.
good.
Detail.
Yeah.
I was trying to get you over the line there.
It'd definitely be a sweet victory.
Well, I think you surely you're going to go with Victor. Victor proves the winner takes it all.
Yeah. I hate ABBA too much to enjoy that one. You see when
you found the link, Dan. Excellent, well done.
You see when Dave Grohl came out on Paul McCartney's set at Glastonbury, he was wearing an ABBA t-shirt at the end of that. It's so far down in my estimation. ABBA are the absolute worst.
Yeah, I just thought I had to share it.
I feel a hero call coming on. I think Alberto's gonna hero call this with like a
7.
deuce. No, I was going even worse than that. Call it off with a
Okay.
deuce, Alberto, and we'll give you a round of applause.
If I've got a 7, I've beaten him into the pot, I'm afraid.
He's running out of his secondary time bank, to be honest, with his thinking time.
Oh no, Alberto's dead to me after all.
But he's now back down to that sort of stack size again, isn't he? Which is
And now he's going to be so angry with himself for not making that call. He's now going to tilt himself out of the tournament by jamming this.
Yeah. Oh no, he's just going to do some more calling. He's done far too.
Post flop. Let me finish. Post flop.
And Victor's just sat there thinking, gimme.
oh
no, really? We're going to do APAT funds now, are we? If we're flat in that, it better be good, Alberto.
Hey, if only he was playing Fernando, not Alberto.
oh dear.
There you go. Look.
Wow.
There you go. Look.
Wow.
If you're flatting that, it'd better be good.
What is it with the straights?
Do this more often.
So basically, his way of getting back into this is keep flopping the nuts.
Flopping straights.
Yeah.
Why didn't we think of that?
Yeah.
It's an easy game,
Good tactic.
really, if you think
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
a good tactic. It really is.
How much is up top, did you say? 12? I can say there, 12 grand.
Yeah, 12,000. Yeah.
Money.
All that's in my head is Teddy KGB saying he trapped me. As twice now on the turn, Victor shoved and gone, oh yeah, I see what you've done there.
If this does get to the next level, you're going to be very happy, Dan, because we'll be at 500,000, $1 million, which means you'll be good for your calculations.
You can briefly know what's going on.
Yeah, for 15 minutes. So.
I may not know what's going on, but on Sunday they won't know what's hit them.
Oh, exactly.
I imagine it's going to be spectacular one way or the other.
It is. And
hopefully the other.
I think I've been told it starts at 3, and I've registered for the 5 p.m. comp.
Look, I'm already in the 3 p.m. one. That's the problem. And that's the one where chips are in from the start.
I'll make sure I've saved you a T-shirt, Dan, for when you get there later on in the week as well. So you can pick one of the APAT shirts as well.
Is that first come first serve, or are you taking orders?
Was first come first serve for what I've got, which is only pretty much two or three of each design. And then if anybody wants anything particular of those, I can get reprints done and get them out. Yeah. So
no, don't worry.
So apparently it's payment for interesting content on the show, Paul. So unlucky.
Yeah, I'll get a card guard at best.
Yeah, there was only a certain allocation for the English, and they're gone. There's a few left for Wales.
I admire your commitment to this.
Speaking of which, I've already brought this up. Do I now qualify to play for England?
Because you've lived in England so long now. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
What's the shake of the head for there, Des? Now, I'm sure people who live in a country that isn't their birth country have previously been allowed to play for that team. I'm not going to name any names.
I'd name names.
Put it this way: my wife's lived in England for longer than she ever lived in Wales, and she feels 0% English. So I don't think
that definitely makes her Welsh. I have to say.
I'm pretty. Where am I? Yeah, I've lived in England longer than I've lived in Wales now. But no, not even coming close. No, thank you.
Because I'm figuring if I can't get into the Welsh team, at least I can get into the English team and make sure they can't win it.
I'll see what he did there, folks.
Yeah. Very true. It's very, very true.
Uh-huh.
Did you have a T-shirt in mind that you wanted, Paul? Do you have your eye on a particular
really
one?
big one for Dan?
I'd like to say I didn't deserve that, but I'd so be lying.
No, I don't mind. The one I like the most is the NFL one, but of course, other people have more of a claim on the NFL one, having known Jerry.
I think I am going to have to be printing up quite a few more of those ones.
I
I think I've got this feeling. So yeah, so you can grab one of those. And I'll get you an NFL one as well when I do a reprint on those, because I'm pretty sure already they are going to they're going to be quite popular. So.
Yeah, I think it's one of them where so many people have had so many great times with him that it's only fitting that at one APAT event we turn up and there's going to be at least 60 of us wearing them.
Yeah. Print us up some nice controversial ones for Vegas as well, like a fuck the NRA one, or
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Middle finger to the Supreme Court or something like that, just to get the conversation going.
Are you pleased to see me, or is that a Kalashnikov in your pocket?
I'm gonna let you into a little secret here, because they in the airports in America they don't really take sort of jokes about security.
Oh, they really don't. They really don't. They really don't.
Poor sense of humour. You're right.
So I'm there and I'm waiting for a plane home, and I'm stuck with Alex Martin. So Alex says, right, let's play a game while we're waiting in the airport. And I said, what's this game? And he said, it's called Fire or Bomb. And I'm like, okay, how do we play this? And he said, well, you have to say one of the two words, fire or bomb. And the only rule is you have to say it a bit louder than the previous person has said it.
No! Fire.
Which basically we did, and ended up being told that in those uncertain terms, airport security is not a joke, and if you ever want to get back to your own country, it's probably not a great game to be playing.
Bloody hell.
That's the polite version.
Oh dear.
I think there may have been some swearing from the.
And that's when you were trying to leave the country. I mean, it's even worse when you. It's even worse when you come into the country, because honestly, you feel guilty. You've not done anything wrong in your life, but you're feeling guilty when you're actually just like trying to get actually into the country. When they're asking a few questions, and you cannot crack a joke or anything. It has to be completely dead serious. Otherwise, they won't even let you in.
Well, I do an awful lot of posting of random boxes that usually involve trainers. Pretty much always involve trainers, and so you go into a post office and they usually ask you what's in the box. So normal response: drugs and guns.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
And I've literally had 2 post offices say, now you've told me that there's drugs and guns in here, I can't send this. I really should call the police. I said, well, you can crack on, but they're going to be insanely disappointed when they find a really boring bit of
So you're telling me the post office manager there, he told you to jog on?
Literally, one of them gave me the box back and said, I'm not posting this, because if it is drugs and guns, and you've told me that. So yeah, don't joke with the post office.
No, it's never worth it.
So Herberto, after the double up, is back down to this 15 bigs. Yeah, this is now the 3rd time he's been here. So it's about now he normally flops a straight. Yeah.
No, he won't have a chance. He's at the open jam. There we go. He's at the open jamming stage now.
I don't know. It's about the 15 big blind straight thing he normally does it. So there'll be a 2.5 here. Then he'll call the 7-8 that he's going to come 4, 5, 6, and
no, he gets a free one instead. Here you go, 7-8, bang.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
7-8 of clubs.
Yeah, if he check calls, you know what's coming, right?
Yeah, I'm not going there again, says Victor.
Good work, Roberto.
Yeah, you do get the feel Victor's learning lessons here as it's playing out.
But I mean, even when Alberto's doubling up now, it doesn't take Victor long to get him back to where he was, and you tend to find the more small ball poker it goes, the more it's going to favour Victor.
Yep.
And he only needs to win one more small pot of Alberto to have him in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, which means Herberto's got to be just very, very careful about the hands that he's going to commit any chips with, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he needs to stop. He needs to really stop calling and actually decide. On flops, is he ahead or is he behind? I think it's sort of decision time. Unless you do flop the absolute and your hand's too strong to make a decision. But I'm figuring that at some point he's gonna stop flopping the nuts.
These are good jam spots, aren't they?
And they are.
Min open from button when he's got 15 bigs. I'm rarely flatting that there, to be honest.
No, and I think with this stack he needs to be shoving or folding, not peeling an awful lot. Yeah. Why wouldn't you peel with 10-8?
This is where I genuinely a bit gutted that we're not seeing. Would love to be able to see whole cards and see exactly the dynamic of what hands are being played, because we don't get to see everything. Obviously, if it doesn't go to showdown. Curious to know. Open shove from Alberto. So I mean, one of these times Victor's going to wake up with something here and go, "Yeah, that's good enough for me. I'm going to do it," because it's happened a few times now, and every time Victor's folded.
Yeah, because last year with the main, wasn't it replayed? Wasn't it on like a half-an-hour delay with whole cards?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Des was getting feeds from
that was fantastic.
Party Poker headquarters. Yeah.
It was really, really interesting watching it with the on the delay with the whole cards. And
well, that was the one. Was that the one Boz finished
third?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We had him on the show a couple of days after, didn't we? It was good.
We did. Yeah. He got really unlucky. He put a lot of pressure on, and he bossed the final table, and then he just lost important flips. I think it was Ace Jack against tens four-handed, and then he lost Ace King against jacks or something, and then he was forced into shoving. But it was certainly nothing against the way he played, because he played absolutely fantastic on that event.
Yeah, I thought he was really zoned into it. He was super unlucky, but he seemed to have
he had the stack and he had the experience, and they both they told from about 8-handed where he just said, if you're all sitting back, then I'm not. I'm going to be opening. If you're not opening, I am.
Yeah.
And it really worked for him.
So to go all old school on you. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Ace Queen versus sixes. It's the Ace Queen at risk.
Win flip of that.
Oh, there it is.
Blimey.
There it is.
Beautiful.
Not only can he flop the nuts, he can also win flips. Multi-skilled. But he's been here before, hasn't he? Where he's pulled this back and has got to sort of to 2-1 dog, and then has very quickly Victor's chipped away again and got back down to the 15 bigs situation.
Yeah, and I think when he gets to this stage of the 30 bigs, he feels it's too much to shove, and he does a lot of call folding.
But who do you feel has got the edge here?
Victor, massively now. I think just with momentum, even though he keeps losing these, I think that Herberto will be down to 18 bigs within the next 10 hands.
I think if Victor continues to do what he's doing, I think he has a clear advantage. But the question is, will he get frustrated at a point? But he's continuing to lowball it. So
I think Alberto's been shackled by the low stack that he's got. I think if you put these two against each other with even stacks, Alberto wins more than Victor does.
Wow.
I'd have agreed with you until I've watched them play for the last half an hour.
For the last half an hour when Roberto's hardly been above 20 bigs.
Well, no, because they did start off at very even stacks, and I just get the feeling that heads up, Victor's by far the stronger player. He's raising a lot in position where Roberto's making it up. He's doing a lot of limp calling raises out of position. He's doing a lot of call folding on flops and turns, or checking nuts. And I think Victor is winning 3 pots to every one that Roberto is heads up. Granted, as I said, stack sizes as they are now, but I mean, he's still got 30 bigs, so nearly 40 now.
Well, those couple of straights aside and the flip, Victor's been winning the bigger pots and Roberto's been winning the smaller pots.
He hasn't been winning the bigger pots.
Yeah, and I think Victor's been winning the majority of the pots.
Yeah.
Since Roberto got pretty short, yeah.
Well, we'll see now. We'll see now because there isn't a lot in it now.
Yeah. This might just be my own confirmation bias, obviously, because I've been rooting for Roberto since like 4 or 5 handed. But no, I think I like the way, for the most part, the way Roberto's been playing.
Well, we're into level 41 now with the blinds at $500,000 and $1 million with a ante of 125k. So, for Dan's sake, let's hope it's done in the next 15 minutes, so he doesn't have to worry about blinds of 600k and 1.2 million, which is slightly more tricky.
I wish I knew any level 42 songs so I could make a joke about that in the next one.
Yeah.
You inevitably know like 15 level 42 songs.
No, I know one, and I'm trying to.
Lessons in Love, was that level?
Lessons in Love, yes.
In Love.
Started Des off.
No, not that one.
That might not have been how that song goes.
Level 42 are actually Quizalot David's favourite band, Level 42.
I mean, we're not stopping now, are we? There's more than double in the pot than we've got, Roberto. Let's get him in, shall we? Yes.
Roberto's made his move.
I'm loving the fact that this doesn't get snapped.
Yeah, he's well ahead.
Yeah, so Victor had to fold there, didn't he?
Wow.
Really? Don't see anything else happening.
He's my guy.
And we're 5 to the hour, so players are going to be on a quick 5-minute break. So,
well, listen, Leigh. Given that it's 5 to the hour, I just got to play the final video in the little series I showed you last night. The guy who's been taken off Martin Tyler, just because.
Really?
Because
it's not another Man United Liverpool game, is it?
Just because it's quite enjoyable, and I like the way he does it. So Tyler, the United fan, commentating on.
What, you're going to play a video of a guy who's been tugging off Martin Tyler? Steady on now. Steady on now. There's been no tugging involved to my knowledge. Let me play this. I think this is fun.
Salah coming central. He's played Navigator in here, and Liverpool do take their early chance. Mistake here between Shaw and Maguire. Alexander-Arnold, and it's too easy. Huge problem. Jota, Salah. Break the Navigator. Salah! Jota. Salah. Wow. It is absolute mayhem for Manchester United, and Liverpool are cashing in on every chance. Tackled Henderson. What a pass that is for Mo Salah. Is this going to be the hat-trick? It certainly is. It's 5.
Definitely Tyler is biased, Leigh. Sorry, he just is.
I can't say I've ever really noticed it.
I know.
It's a Liverpool fan thing, isn't it? It's
yeah, probably.
Did you win the race the other day? Because there was a I'm sure there was a player that you were. I don't know. It was whether or not you were going to get more Burnley, and it was a close call, and I didn't actually see the outcome. And
what was that, Dan?
I can't remember. There was
a race.
Well, a race to sign a player between Man United and Burnley, and you can understand it's a difficult decision for the player.
there's never been a race for anybody choosing between Man United and Burnley.
Oh, I tell you what, I bet you're
There's-
talking
there's-
about
there's
Man United
Man
and
United and
Brentford.
Brent- Brentford.
At the moment, you snap choose Burnley, right?
And
Christian
Brent- no,
Eriksen.
there's
Oh, is this
Christian
Christian
Eriksen.
That's it.
Christian Eriksen choosing between Man United and Brentford and can't decide. Yeah. That's about where we're at. Yeah.
Wouldn't have happened 10 years ago, but yeah. No, I just found
Yeah.
something slightly ironic about it. No, it was Eriksen and it was Brentford.
I think
not
Yeah,
I think
that's
if he
where we're-
buys a
where we're
centre
at,
back,
yeah.
I think United will come back strong next season if he makes a good signing at centre back and
Are you mad?
there's a bit of jelly. No, seriously, I think they'll look. I mean, by coming back strongly, I mean, look, they're not going to be top 3, but I think they'll look a better team than they have looked this season, which maybe isn't too hard.
If they buy 2 centre backs, a new full back, and 3 midfielders, maybe somebody who can score some goals, they'll be in with a shout.
That goes for anyone, doesn't it?
I'm not sure I can name more than 2 of them United players who deserve to be in the team.
Yeah, I think based on form, yeah, fair enough. But I think, Rashford can come back. Sancho can come back. Ronaldo will always score goals. Martial will score goals. I think in particular they need to sort out the defence. You're right; they could do with a midfielder, but I think you can work around midfielders. If you've got strong attacking, I think so. I mean, Liverpool.
Or was that just on loan?
Do you think Fred belongs in that team? Do you think McTominay belongs in that team?
No, I'll be honest, I don't. But it's obviously going to take time to sort the whole thing out.
I mean, I've been saying it for years, but let's face it, the more he plays, I'm not even sure if Maguire will get in the team anymore because by the end they just we're not even going to start you, and he was getting taken off, and
yeah, let's see how he comes back.
Yeah, and yet I still think
I still
think he starts for England, and I don't think he should. I think
look, confidence is huge in a footballer, particularly playing in front of 75,000 fans, and it might be that Ten Hag is exactly what he needs to rebuild back up that confidence. I mean, who knows? I'm not looking for it. I mean, I don't want you to see a strong United, but
you can have a confidence level of 100, but if you're completely lacking in ability, which he is as a centre back, then I don't think it matters what his confidence is.
He's got limitations, but he should play to his strength, right? He's just heading the ball out, heading the ball into the goal. I mean, he's got a remarkable number of goals behind him.
Maybe he needs to reinvent himself as a striker, because the guy can't defend. His positioning is horrific. His man marking is horrific.
Have you heard any strong links with anyone, Leigh?
Poker's back.
He doesn't like the football.
It's okay, by the way, Dan. We won't mention to Natalie that you mixed up Burnley and Brentford. That'll go down.
No, don't do that. Have you heard any strong links, Leigh?
No, we're not.
It's still De Jong, right?
You can't pay much attention to the media because they'll link us to just about anybody because apparently we're desperate for players. And the reality of it is this can't be seen as a short-term thing. You've got to give him a chance to. You've got to give him a chance to. He's confident he can improve the squad that's already there. I think that there is certainly room for improvement there, and I don't see us actually signing any more than maybe 2 or 3, and that I think will be us for this summer. I really believe that. That's all we'll do. I don't think. I think De Jong seems to be the one that he really wants to get in. Obviously, we've got Donny van der Beek back off from loan, and he's played for him before, so we'll be interested to see what happens there. The defence is an interesting position because Varane is Rolls-Royce centre-back for years and years at Real, and Maguire, is in that England team and seems to perform there. So something's not right that they're not all clicking together. I think Shaw is a solid left back. I do think we're lacking right back. We've got a couple of options there. But I think the whole thing, the confidence is so low in that squad, and that's what needs to be a change. And that's the first thing he can do is you get in and you drag some of those players up, give them a proper pre-season and confidence in what they can do. And the likes of Sancho and Rashford, they don't become bad players overnight. But over the last 2 or 3 years, they've been sapped of any confidence or wanting to play for the team even, and that needs to change. I don't think McTominay's as bad a midfielder as he sometimes gets accused of being. I think he's got a lot. I prefer him ahead of Fred. But there was too many players in there even last season that were just taking minutes up for no reason. Why we were giving minutes to Matic and Mata and whose contracts were coming to an end, just should have been shot. How we didn't take money for Lingard last year and said, "Oh no, you'll have a run, we'll keep you in there," and then not play him. I mean, somebody in the club needs sacking for that alone, because that's 10 or 15 million quid that we could have had back in the club.
Can I just point out, just before the run ends, Alberto has won all of the 7 hands since the break. Mainly
he's clearly the best player, Paul. I mean, you and I agreed on that.
All this nonsense about Victor's got the edge. My word, what game are you watching?
Okay, I tell you what, we'll have a pint. I'll take Victor, and you can take Alberto.
All right. Even now, and you want that even money? We're at 60 bigs against 18. All right.
I want that even money. I'm going to say you. I'm going to say you probably have the edge on this one.
I should. I mean, your guy's going to run like God now, and he's got Ace King against Ace Queen here, and it's all going to be messy. No, we'll be all right. Alberto's my guy.
Oh, Victor's still lowballing it, isn't he? He's not really
no, but I think
controlling most of the pots.
I think, and you could see by betting a third pot in the river, Victor was confident he knew exactly where he was in that hand,
which was miles ahead.
Paul, you do understand me saying one thing positive about Victor is not me slagging off your boy Roberto. You do realise that, don't you? You can. They're not mutually exclusive situations here.
This is now become personal.
7 hands to 1 since the break. Just sticking to the facts.
Please tell me you've got a little tally sheet going on. Yeah, I'd be disappointed if you haven't.
No, it's all up there, mate. It's all up there.
Yeah.
Although I do have a spreadsheet.
Sorry, Paul. We were talking football. We didn't see them. They clearly didn't happen.
They don't count. Yeah, he got these 54 bigs from nowhere. You're right.
Although, if my battery dies and you lose me, all bets are off.
That's a risk for me as well. I promise you.
I'm on 1%.
Okay,
really?
I'm at the dizzy heights of 7, so we're okay.
Yeah, if I might be dialing back into my phone in a minute.
Do you not have a power cable? Is that not a thing?
Yeah, it's plugged in, but I don't know.
It's getting up there, isn't it?
Have you not seen the price? Have you not seen the price of Leigh?
Is it switched on at the wall, Dan?
What, Danny? Are you seriously telling me these days you pop out and charge your laptop somewhere else, Starbucks or something, and then come back and make it last?
Starbucks is miles away. I'm not spending the diesel to get there. It costs us just down the road.
Oh right, okay, fine, yeah.
I presume this pot between you and me, Dan, is one of them pints of Long Island iced tea that you mentioned earlier on.
That's all right. But like the 21-year-old American, you are downing it in one.
Good luck with it. Good luck with that.
That's the thing. I'll buy it, you down it.
So didn't have any plans to do Vegas this year then, Dan? Not really?
I sort of have a job now.
And that kind of that stops you from having a holiday, yeah. There's big obviously changes at the NHS. Yeah, you've said last time you were on, so it's just
which I'm going through. So if I was going, I'd sort of want to be going now. Like I'd want to be then, and I want to do longer than I can take. It's not somewhere I want to go for 10 days because I know that 10 days will turn up and I'll feel like I need another month. But the plan is for next year, and the plan is to do it big next year.
Excellent. So, that's good.
I'd like to go back again. I want to waste some more money before I can enter the super seniors.
Well, that's the seniors and super seniors seems to be what everyone targets these days. It's when can
I know. Well,
like that? Yeah,
I've got to be honest. Most people I played with in APAT now qualify because I considered myself.
Oh, and there he goes. Oh, and there goes the power. And there goes the power. Yeah.
No, it's going to be so sad that he's going to miss Roberto steamrolling Victor to victory.
But because he hasn't seen it, it won't have happened.
It won't have happened.
Doesn't count.
Good job this is recorded, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak too soon, but
Well, this is the flip of what we've been watching for a little while here, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Victor now down to sort of 14 bigs here with this pot building.
Well,
And
credits.
Alberto piling the pressure and
it was
Queen
only a matter of
3.
time.
Oh, let's say actually Victor is now lower than I think Alberto ever was.
He knew that River
point.
Full House was coming. He's a genius.
So Victor's in the same situation where he's got to just pick his hands to get involved with. He's certainly not going to go crazy because he's been controlling pots when he has been involved in them, but obviously with only 11 bigs behind now, Herberto's not going to stop because now Herberto's got the lead. He's going to do what he was doing earlier on in the comp, isn't he?
Which he's been doing since he drew 11.
Yeah, which is pretty much foot to the floor. But see, Victor didn't even get full value out of that, really.
And where's your pot with Trip Kings heads up there?
Oh, Dan's back. Let's see if we can get him in.
Back in on his
Oh,
phone.
he's back just in time. No, maybe not.
But neither of them have made crazy calls, have they? Really?
Am I in now?
You're in. You're in.
Yay! You're back.
There he is.
Am I back just in time to see Victor take this down?
You might be back in time to see one of them take it down.
Dan, have you genuinely just rejoined with the name Haycock owes me a pint? Brilliant.
I'm going to be very disappointed if that's the case.
It's called deluded confidence.
Yeah. Natalie Bromley is in the chat. Says hello all.
Oh, just a little bit
Doing
too,
well.
a little bit too late to hear Owston mixing up Burnley and Brentford. Then that was a shame.
Hello, Natalie.
Tuning in from Vegas. Yeah, we're on the final two players of the online events in the WCOAP for 2022. One of these two is going to walk away with $12,000. The other one's going to have to settle for $8,300. Wouldn't really be bothered either way, I think. If you've got this part, quite happy.
Yeah,
I'm so much more invested in this now. Now there's a pint on it. Go on, Alberto. Crush him. No, we're not flat in there. Come on. Unlucky in the tag team, Natalie, if you're still there.
Can we ask Natalie whether she's found Shug for us yet?
Oh dear.
There's another one. My boy's relentless. There's another one. I played him in that one.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
He is playing this situation better than Victor did, I must admit, because it is just constant pressure. And at some point, Victor's now below 10 bigs. He's going to have to do something, isn't he?
Yeah. John, don't you dare! Oh my God!
Right?
You wanted to shove
Right.
there, Dan? Yeah.
God, who could have
Yeah.
seen this coming? They're waking up. They're realizing the truth, Des, after all this time.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't been watching this at all.
Alberto is 10 times the player that Dan Swede is.
Got a bit gobby now. You've got 11-1 chip lead.
Listen, Natalie's out there. She's saying couldn't find Shug, didn't find him. We actually had him on, Natalie, a little while ago. We had him call in. So we had a lovely 10-15 minute chat with him. He is in good spirits, I have to say. Really having a happy experience.
Not a big fan of the IRS, but apart from that, in good
That is true. That is true.
Oh, it's a call from Victor with a 9-8. It's a 9-8 at risk.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, what kind of flop is that? Oh my God, it just keeps getting.
Oh, what a river
You're
card!
shitting me.
What a river card!
What?
A river card to end it.
So to start with, Dan, I'll have a pint of Cristal.
Oh,
pint of what?
Wow.
Cristal. You probably haven't heard of it.
Wow.
Bloody hell. What happened there?
A 5 from absolutely nowhere on the river ends that. And
Never in
yeah,
doubt.
I mean, to be honest, that has been how the heads up have been this week. Up and down, really enjoyable, lots of play, absolutely superb to watch. So we can confirm that was the last one of the online events. 75,000 guarantee. We got there in the end with 791 runners in that. In third place was Manuel Montoya from Peru. He picks up $5,727 and the bronze medal. Dan's man, Victor Persson from Sweden has to settle for the silver medal and $8,309. But the man, Herberto Marchetti from Argentina, the one that Paul was following, called it from early on. He picks up the gold medal, the WCOAP bracelet for 2022, and $12,027. What an end to 9 days of streaming, Des.
Nice. Fantastic 9 days, Leigh. I mean, it seems like it only started yesterday, so it's gone super, super quick. Thank you to the lads. So Paul, Dan, for being with us tonight, to all of the team who've been part of the streams over the last sort of 9 days. It's been absolutely fantastic to have you on. You've added a ton of colour, I have to say. But Leigh, it's not over yet. The online portion is over, but we go again from Wednesday live in Nottingham at dusk till dawn. We will be back streaming through the APAT show, through the series. Ton of stuff to come, so stick with us. Get involved, Leigh.
Yeah, well, it's like you want to do this like the Olympics, isn't it? You want to say, I call upon all amateur poker players to meet in Nottingham in the United Kingdom and battle it out for more bracelets. Yeah, something along those lines.
Boom. Let's do it. So I can't think of a better note or indeed a better hand to finish the online portion of the WCOAP. So I think with that, guys, we shall say au revoir until we do it again. And thank you for your help. And to everybody else, we'll see you in Nottingham.
Leigh, you owe Paul a pint, then 3 pints. You're
100. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. He's offsetting pipes.
The drinks are on Leigh, folks. Remember that.
We'll sort it in Nottingham. See you all there.
Ciao.